I would love to dive into the Declaration of Independence. It is a fascinating, often overlooked piece of history that mirrors the American Declaration of Independence but from a completely opposite perspective. In November 1776, after the British had successfully occupied New York City, over 500 people gathered to sign this document. It serves as a perfect historical counter-narrative to the events in Philadelphia. The content of the Declaration of Independence. While Thomas Jefferson's declaration focused on unalienable rights and the tyranny of King George III, the Loyalist document focused on the unnatural rebellion. They argued that the push for independence was an unnatural and illegal rebellion against a mild and indulgent government. A plea for protection. The signers explicitly asked the British commanders to restore the civil government and protect them from the oppression of the Continental Congress. Reaffirming allegiance. It was a formal way for citizens to prove they were not rebels, which was critical for their safety and the preservation of their property while under British occupation. Why people chose to remain loyal. The reasons for staying with the crown were diverse, and often based on practical survival rather than just love for the king. Reason. Explanation. Economic stability. Many merchants relied on British trade networks and feared that independence would lead to financial ruin and a worthless new currency. Legal protection. Some believed the British Constitution was the greatest protector of liberty in the world, and that American liberty would lead to mob rule and anarchy. Religious oaths. Many Anglican, Church of England clergy and their followers felt bound by their religious oaths of loyalty to the king as the head of the church. Protection of minorities. Groups like the Mohawk, Iroquois Confederacy, and enslaved African Americans often sided with the British, believing the crown was more likely to limit colonial expansion and offer freedom than the American revolutionaries. The silent majority? Historians estimate that roughly 20% of the population were active loyalists, while many others remained neutral, simply trying to survive the conflict. For many, the American Revolution felt less like a glorious war for liberty, and more like a civil war that tore families apart. Would you like to explore the specific stories of any of these groups, such as the Black Loyalists or the Native American tribes that joined the British side? The 1990 transition of the Polish government in exile serves as a gold standard case study for state restoration. It demonstrates that territory can be regained not necessarily through military reconquest, but through a strategy of constitutional preservation, maintaining a legal thread that remains unbroken until the political environment allows for a homecoming. Here is how that model functions as a blueprint for regaining sovereignty. 1. The strategy of legal continuity. The Polish government in London argued that the 1935 constitution was never legally replaced. By existing in exile for 50 years, they acted as a living archive of the state's sovereignty. The logic: if the state never died legally, it doesn't need to be created, it only needs to be restored. Application: this allows a movement to bypass the legitimacy of a current occupying or opposing administration by labeling it a temporary historical interruption. 2. Symbolic transfer of power. On December 22, 1990, the last president in exile, Ryszard Kaczorowski, handed the presidential insignia to Lech Walesa in Warsaw. The power of the act. This was a voluntary merger between the legal authority, the exile government, and the popular authority, the domestic democratic movement. It signaled to the international community that the true Poland had returned. Territorial gain. Because the domestic movement already had a presence on the ground, the legal transfer effectively replanted the exile government's legitimacy back into the physical territory. 3. Institutional persistence. For 5 decades, the government in London maintained a cabinet and a council. While they had no tax revenue or police force, they issued passports and documents that reinforced an administrative identity. This persistence ensures that when a window of opportunity opens, there is an organized body ready to step in immediately, rather than a disorganized vacuum. Comparison. Restoration versus secession. The Polish model is often studied as a restoration model rather than a secessionist model. Feature: restoration, e.g., Poland 1990. Traditional secession. Legal basis: claiming an existing state was interrupted. Claiming a new state should be born. Goal: return to a previous sovereign status. Break away to form a new entity. Method: constitutional preservation and diplomacy. Often requires armed conflict or referendum. Territory: regained through political transition. Gained through physical separation. 4. International role: as a shadow diplomat. Even when the world recognized the communist government in Warsaw for pragmatic reasons, the exile government served as a permanent lobby. They used international law to argue that recognition is not the same as legitimacy. They effectively waited for the Montevideo criteria, population, territory, government, to align again by keeping the government element alive in a dormant state. This demonstrates that for a government in exile, the path back to its territory often relies on strategic patience and the maintenance of a legal framework that is ready to be reactivated the moment the domestic political situation shifts. The transition of the Polish government in exile in 1990 is one of the most successful historical examples of state restoration, providing a clear blueprint for how a government can maintain legitimacy for decades without controlling its home territory. The Polish case highlights several key strategies that allow an exiled or shadow administration to eventually regain its status. 1. The principle of legal continuity. Unlike a group starting from scratch, the Polish government in exile, based in London, operated under the 1935 Constitution. They maintained that because they never formally surrendered or disbanded, they remained the legal continuation of the pre-World War II Polish state. This prevented a legal vacuum and allowed them to argue that the communist government in Poland was an interim, de facto authority rather than a legitimate one. 2. Symbolic legitimacy and a transfer of regalia. The climax of this model occurred on December 22, 1990. The last president in exile, Ryszard Kaczorowski, traveled to Warsaw and handed over the presidential insignia, the seal, the flag, and the original 1935 constitution to the newly elected Loyalist. Why it matters? This act was not just ceremonial, it signaled to the world that the Second Republic had officially been restored. It linked the new democratic Poland directly to its sovereign past, bypassing the legitimacy of the decades-long communist era. 3. Preserving institutional identity. For 50 years, the London-based government maintained a cabinet, a president, and even a national council. By keeping these institutions alive, even in a limited capacity, they provided a ready-made framework for the state to reactivate once the political environment changed. This aligns with the idea that administrative readiness is just as important as political activism. 4. International networking. While the Polish government in exile lost official recognition from major powers like the UK and USA in 1945, they spent decades acting as a diplomatic lobby. They kept the Polish question alive in international organizations, ensuring that the world never entirely forgot their claim to sovereignty. Comparison to the Montevideo criteria. The Polish example challenges the traditional 1933 Montevideo Convention view that a state must have effective control over territory to exist. Instead, it suggests a model of dormant sovereignty, where territory is occupied but still claimed. Population remains loyal to the idea of the state. Government exists in a preserved state elsewhere. This model shows that if a government in exile can maintain its constitutional thread and peaceful administrative structure, it remains ready to merge with a domestic movement, like the Solidarity movement in Poland, the moment the occupying or opposing force weakens. The people who opposed the independence of the United States after the 1776 Declaration were known by several specific names, ranging from formal titles to insulting political labels. 1. Loyalists. This was the most common and neutral term. These individuals believed that remaining part of the British Empire provided better security, economic stability, and legal protection than a new, untested government. 2. Tories. This was the most popular and often derogatory name used by the American patriots. It was borrowed from the conservative political party in Britain, the Tories, who were strong supporters of the king's authority. To call someone a Tory in 1776 was often an accusation of being an enemy to American liberty. 3. Friends of government. This was a more formal, self-applied title. Many who opposed the revolution used this term to emphasize that they were law-abiding citizens who supported the established legal order and the legitimate government of the crown. 4. Royalists or Kingsmen. These terms were frequently used for those who took an active role in supporting the British, such as government officials, Anglican clergy who had sworn an oath to the king, or those who joined military units to fight against the Continental Army. 5. Persons inimical to the liberties of America. In official documents and legal proceedings of the time, the Continental Congress and local committees of safety often used this formal legalistic phrase to identify and punish those suspected of British sympathies. Notable groups and documents. The Declaration of Dependence, 1776. In November 1776, just months after the American Declaration, over 500 people in New York signed a Declaration of Dependence. This was a formal reply to the Continental Congress, stating their continued allegiance to King George III. United Empire Loyalists. This is the name specifically given to the approximately 60,000 to 80,000 people who fled the United States after the war to settle in British North America, now Canada. They are considered the founding fathers of modern Ontario and New Brunswick. Do you want to know about the specific reasons why some people chose to remain loyal, or perhaps more about the Declaration of Dependence they signed in response to 1776? During the American Revolution, those who opposed independence and wished to remain subjects of the British Crown were known as Loyalists. While they were not a single unified organization in the modern sense, they represented a significant portion of the colonial population. They were most commonly referred to by the following names. 1. Loyalists. This was the most common term for colonists who remained loyal to King George III. They believed that revolution was treason, and that the colonies benefited from the protection and trade of the British Empire. 2. Tories. This was a political label used primarily by the Patriots, those supporting independence, to insult their opponents. It was named after the Tory party in Great Britain, which traditionally supported the power of the monarchy and the established church. 3. Royalists, or King's Men. These terms were often used to describe individuals who held official colonial offices under the Crown, or those who served in provincial regiments, Loyalist militias, to fight alongside the British Army. Key characteristics of the Loyalist movement. Composition. They included wealthy merchants, Anglican clergy, and Crown officials, but also many enslaved people and Native Americans who believed the British would better protect their rights than the American revolutionaries. Military involvement. Approximately 19,000 to 25,000 Loyalists fought in organized provincial units for the British, such as the King's American Regiment and the Butler's Rangers. Outcome. After the British defeat in 1783, roughly 60,000 to 80,000 Loyalists fled the United States, with many settling in Canada, specifically Nova Scotia and Ontario, where they were known as United Empire Loyalists.
Those, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on your time and your location. As I welcome you this wonderful afternoon from my location to this hallowed platform of we all, I want to thank you. I want to welcome you. And also, I will ask you to, as I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome other persons that is going to listen through you. Invite one another through touching the like button, share button, and subscribe if you never do so. We are making our preamble, but there is a real deal. For those who are still doubting USB Redeclared, we are going more deeper to find things out. And whenever we find it out, we are going to be here to present it to you that are still doubting and are still asking what Ngozi is doing. You think that for proof that she's doing something to stop Ibushasomajani, do you know that thing has anything to do with what we are doing? Does it stop her from the world seeing that this is the original government of people of Biafra? The reason of the world and their view is quite different from you, who is against Redeclaration, who never want Biafra to be a country. I keep on repeating you the history of America and Poland as a preamble for you to listen to it and learn and come out of that your nonsense that you are doing over there. Stop gossiping social media and focus on reality. There is one thing that we all must understand at this point that we are into. What is that thing? Nothing supersedes USB Redeclared. When what I am cooking is done on the research, then you will find something out by yourself. I also want you to know that this page has a protocol, existing rule. Once you enter, I said, I don't want to greet Biafra TV or USB Researcher. Just do the normal, stand on the existing protocol first. By what? You see what our brother Ahmad Chigozie did in the first place, as the first who entered this platform today. You see the work of Mommy Stella Azoka. That is what they put out there, even though her own is not yet complete. And on that, I will start welcoming everybody. Ahmad Chigozie said, "Greetings, Biafrans," as he's always do. Hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Number 2, existing protocol. Hashtag, Nigeria must go. Biafra is a nation. In a simple word, I take it. Then Uchenna Uche Mma said, "Good evening, Biafrans from Thailand." Wow. Good evening from here, my brother. You're welcome. He never completed his assignment, or he did not stand on the existing protocol. I see Chidubem Emmanuel. Our time could not allow you to hear from you for a very long time, but we are moving. He said, "Ndewo Mazi." Chidubem Emmanuel, I prefer to use that time to write Ndewo to greet me, to do the two things. One is the one that our DPM asked us to be doing. He asked us that we must do hashtag Nigeria must go, because United States of Biafra is a full nation. Honestly. Then he says, "Ndewo my fellow Biafrans," which is a nice one. Uchenna said, "Jisiike to my brother for listening. Thank you." And they said, Mommy Stella said, "Until you first enter, stand on that number 1 protocol of this platform." What is it? Hashtag, I am a citizen of Biafran nation. If you cannot complete hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra, the same words. Then he said, I have like and share. Have you like and share? She's reminding you. Then she finished the work by saying, hashtag, Nigeria must go away from Biafra land. Because of what? USB is a full nation. That is why they must go. So I have this opportunity to welcome the first people that are here. We have only 8 people or 9 on the like. Once we cross 10, then our program, the headline today, the full line, which I'm going through, that is, what I'm putting on my headline is what I researched in my machine. I asked this question. I want to know all the official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026 with declaration documents and the names of their leaders and in country where they are staying. So like it, but it's a country where they are doing what, staying. Because you might be deceiving yourself without knowing. But like I always said, I said that I am here to help you to avoid you are going to cry. Korea movie, you're welcome. That is why I'm here. Because of YouTube could not allow me to finish it. Please, 1 minute. I'm going to do something different now. This call will call back. I have a very important call from a brother, which I must answer. So before I will go to answer the call, I must keep the house busy. So let me look for something that will keep you busy until I am back. Don't move away. Stay. We have something to give you today. So as we are waiting for our like, please, before I come back, I want you to be listening to this. I want to find out all the countries that lost their independence and later get it back from forming a government in exile and issue their declaration of that lost country and gain international recognition of their country today because of we are declaring it back. So please bear with me, listen to this as I attend to this call. It's also part of what we are doing today, and it's also one of the important things to do today. Listen to this.
There are several powerful historical examples of countries that were occupied or lost their independence, formed governments in exile, BRGIE, issued official redeclarations of independence, and successfully regained their status as full recognized countries today. These cases are often cited as the legal blueprints for how a government in exile maintains sovereignty until a state can be restored. 1. The Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The most significant modern examples are the Baltic states. They were occupied and annexed by the Soviet Union in 1940 but never accepted the loss of their statehood. The government in exile. All three maintained diplomatic representations abroad, especially in the US and UK. For example, Estonia maintained a government in exile based in Oslo and later in Stockholm. The Redeclaration. Between 1990 and 1991, they did not declare new independence. They issued declarations of restoration, arguing that their statehood had legally continued since 1918. Result: today they are full members of the UN, EU, and NATO. Their success was based on the legal principle of state continuity, the idea that the country never actually died, it was just occupied. 2. Ethiopia, Abyssinia. In 1936, Italy invaded and annexed Ethiopia. Emperor Haile Selassie was forced into exile in London. The government in exile from London, the emperor continued to act as the head of state, famously addressing the League of Nations to protest the occupation. The Redeclaration. On May 5, 1941, exactly 5 years after the fall of Addis Ababa, the emperor returned and re-established the sovereign government. Result: Ethiopia regained full recognition. This case is vital because it proved that effective control of the land is not required to maintain legal sovereignty if the international community continues to recognize the exiled leader. 3. Poland. Poland was invaded by Germany and the Soviet Union in 1939, leading to the total occupation of its territory. The government in exile, the Polish government in exile, was established first in France and then in London. It commanded the Home Army, resistance, and maintained a full administrative structure. The Redeclaration. While a communist government was installed after World War II, the government in exile in London refused to dissolve. It maintained that it was the only legal successor to the pre-war republic. Result: in 1990, after the fall of communism, the last president of the government in exile, Ryszard Kaczorowski, traveled to Warsaw and officially handed over the presidential insignia to Lech Walesa. This act formally linked the modern Polish state to the original pre-war republic. 4. Czechoslovakia. Similar to Poland, Czechoslovakia was dismantled by Nazi Germany in 1938-1939. The government in exile, Edvard Beneš, formed a provisional government in London. He spent years lobbying for the nullification of the Munich Agreement, which had allowed the occupation. The Redeclaration. By 1941, the Allies, UK, US, USSR, recognized his exiled administration as the Provisional Government of Czechoslovakia. Result: after the war, the state was restored. Though it later split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, the legal path to regaining independence was carved by the government in exile. Summary of the winning formula. Based on these successful countries, the path to full recognition follows a specific legal pattern. Step: action. Legal significance. 1. Exile formation. Prevents the state from being legally erased. 2. Diplomatic lobbying. Maintains state personality in the eyes of foreign powers. 3. Redeclaration. Reasserts that the original sovereignty still exists. 4. Handover/restoration. Transitions the exiled authority back into the physical territory. The law backup. All these countries relied on the doctrine of non-recognition, also known as the Stimson doctrine, which states that territory gained by force is not legally valid, allowing the original government to stay alive in exile until justice is restored.
I hope you are listening. All what I'm doing, the voice we are playing, the audio voice I'm playing is also part of what we are doing today. So it's also in line. It's also in line because it still remains on the issue of exile government. Our people never, if not, it's going to take us time to understand where we are, because including me. I don't know what is called government in exile until Simon Ebanjoko, the prime minister, introduced it to us. Even when he was here, I only just listened to that. But when they took him away, after our redeclaration, after few months after that, I begin to research about if is there anything that called government in exile in the world. That was my first question ever on YouTube. Not now that I have the app to use to research. And I found out there is government in exile. Then I begin to dive and deep into government in exile. I begin to find out that this is the only way to achieve Biafra as a country. That the only way to achieve Biafra as a country is only a true government in exile issue a peaceful redeclaration like other countries. What I am giving you right now is the names of the exile governments, that's the names of country that when they lost their country, they only regained their country back through a peaceful, through first forming government in exile. The government in exile now issue a redeclaration or proclamation of that country, or re-announce the country of continuity. Announce it means that the continuity, that this country has never died, that the country is alive, but it does not exist in a physical territory. Now, declaring it or re-declaring this simply means that this country has come to exist in a lifeline of the people and also having a territory by defining the territory. Which is, when they talk about define your territory, that is just the 40 states with the capital of USB we are declared. Now, through this means, you are hearing, I will play it again, the names of those that have achieved their country through only this means. Is the only way they achieve their country and they regain their country back. You know what is? They regain their country back. They reaffirm who they are. They also make the world to understand that we are a country, that we never forgot who we are. The words from Mazan Kanu said, until we reaffirm who we are, until we redeem who we are. That redeem has worked through a government in exile of USB we are declared. I would just want to give you a few names of those that lost their country. Today they are a country, but what happened when they lost it, like we, the Biafran people, lost our own in 1967 to 2024, November 28, until the 2024, November 29, that we have re-declared it back like other countries. And through a government in exile. I am not going, this is what I want you to know today. And after that, after this voice note, then we will dive into today's program. I want you to hear the names of the official exile government in the world from 2001 to 2006. If you are still doubting USB, you are declared, to your tent, O Israel, elect for you to decide what you are doing with your life and proving how you become a betrayer, how you are among those that is going to flee Biafra land very soon, because there is a law to handle all of you. But I am here to prevent you from that. So before I move on, I know where I stopped. Mazuche Jiafo, good afternoon from my location. Yes, thanks so much for your completing the message. I am a citizen of the Biafra nation. Ikechuku, thank you. I am a citizen of USB. Good morning, my brother. Good morning to you. Olusegun God. I like the way you put it in just in a GV or any other, the way you put it. I don't need the greeting. I need you to stand on, to be an obedient citizen of USB. If you cannot do hashtag, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra, then obey the one coming from our DPM mouth. What is that? Hashtag Nigeria must go. Is it difficult for you to do in every platform every platform you go? Any platform you enter, do it. Even in the platform of One Nigeria list, I will enter there, I will bombard them with USB name for them to know who we are. Olusegun God said, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Nigeria must go. No, I don't believe Nigeria must go. Nigeria must go. I believe in Nigeria must go. Not our DPM said Nigeria must go. Do it the way our DPM told us to do it. That simply means obedience rather than sacrifice. Olusegun God, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. May Elohim bless you. Replace it 7 times 70 in a day for your pocket, and whatever you lay your hand shall prosper and progress. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like I told you, I don't need your greeting. Honestly, I don't need compliment. What I need is when you enter here, just stand on these 2 protocols. Stand on that. After that, if greeting comes, it's okay. And if you really watch me, I am not good in accepting greetings and the compliment. No. Yes, Olusegun God, thank you. Nigeria must go. My brother, Korea, movie. Nigeria must go. Thank you so much. Ben, sorry, this is our sister, or this is our brother, Obum. Thank you so much. It's been long. I am citizen of USB. I'm from Ben. Ben, where have you been? It's been long. I see Wada, the current Wada in this page at all time, at every day. Like Amachi Gozie, Ogonaya. These are people that every day they are here. Bishop Onaga, thank you so much. I remember our last time in S-Handle. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I want you to listen to countries. This is country that's only, they lost their country like we. The only way they achieve their country is, 1, they form government in exile. The government in exile issue a redeclaration of those countries, not your own. Learn from them, and you know that USB redeclares is the only way out.
There are several powerful historical examples of countries that were occupied or lost their independence, formed governments in exile, BRGIE, issued official redeclarations of independence, and successfully regained their status as full recognized countries today. These cases are often cited as the legal blueprints for how a government in exile maintains sovereignty until a state can be restored. 1. The Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The most significant modern examples are the Baltic states. They were occupied and annexed by the Soviet Union in 1940 but never accepted the loss of their statehood. The government in exile. All 3 maintained diplomatic representations abroad, especially in the US and UK. For example, Estonia maintained a government in exile based in Oslo and later in Stockholm. The Redeclaration. Between 1990 and 1991, they did not declare new independence. They issued declarations of restoration, arguing that their statehood had legally continued since 1918. Result: today they are full members of the UN, EU, and NATO. Their success was based on the legal principle of state.
Their success based on what? Redeclaration of their country. Not protests on the street. Not protests on the street.
Continuity. The idea that the country never actually died, it was just occupied. 2. Ethiopia, Abyssinia. In 1936, Italy invaded and annexed Ethiopia. Emperor Haile Selassie was forced into exile in London. The government in exile from London, the emperor continued to act as the head of state, famously addressing the League of Nations to protest the occupation. The Redeclaration. On May 5, 1941, exactly 5 years after the fall of Addis Ababa, the emperor returned and re-established the sovereign government. Result: Ethiopia regained full recognition.
This case is vital because it proved that effective control of the land is not required to maintain legal sovereignty if the international community continues to recognize the exiled leader. 3. Poland. Poland was invaded by Germany and the Soviet Union in 1939, leading to the total occupation of its territory. The government in exile, the Polish government in exile, was established first in France and then in London. It commanded the Home Army, resistance, and maintained a full administrative structure. The Redeclaration. While a communist government was installed after World War II, the government in exile in London refused to dissolve. It maintained that it was the only legal successor to the pre-war republic. Result. In 1990, after the fall of communism, the last president of the government in exile, Ryszard Kaczorowski, traveled to Warsaw and officially handed over the presidential insignia to Lech Walesa. This act formally linked the modern Polish state to the original pre-war republic. 4. Czechoslovakia. Similar to Poland, Czechoslovakia was dismantled by Nazi Germany in 1938-1939. The government in exile, Edvard Beneš, formed a provisional government in London. He spent years lobbying for the nullification of the Munich Agreement, which had allowed the occupation. The Redeclaration. By 1941, the Allies, UK, US, USSR, recognized his exiled administration as the Provisional Government of Czechoslovakia. Result. After the war, the state was restored. Though it later split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, the legal path to regaining independence was carved by the government in exile. Summary of the winning formula. Based on these successful countries, the path to full recognition follows a specific legal pattern. Step. Action. Legal significance. 1. Exile formation.
Are you hearing it?
Prevents the state from being legal.
Number one thing that makes them to regain their country back is what? They call it what? Step. Exile formation. Government in exile. And the worst of it is that all these countries, there was in exile in this UK, in this London, that refused Biafra to go. Because of oil. That is why they refused Biafra to go. It's because of oil. That is why only our cases have different, because other countries don't have oil. But we must tell them who we are and the stuff we made up.
Erased. 2. Diplomatic lobbying. Maintain state personality in the eyes of foreign powers. 3. Redeclaration. Reasserts that the original sovereignty still exists. 4. Handover/restoration. Transitions the exiled authority back into the physical territory. The law backup. All these countries relied on the doctrine of non-recognition, also known as the Stimson doctrine, which states that territory gained by force is not legally valid, allowing the original government to stay alive in exile until justice is restored.
Allow them to stay in exile until justice is restored. What is justice? The recognition of their countries that have lost. I'll give you 4. On that, we on to something like, now I ask you to follow me as we are stepping into the real program of today, which is you will see on our headline. I will read the headline complete for you before we move. So you will follow the headline as we are moving and be thinking on what to do and why USB Redeclared. Why you must be proud of USB Redeclared. The full headline is Exposition from 2001 to 2026. The all-official exile government with documents of Redeclaration and the names of their leaders, and also in the country they are reside today. In this program or this headline, you will find out if before back Ogenkere is there. When we talk about government in exile that have issued a peaceful Redeclaration and has a document of Redeclaration, the world, the world and those are flowing to, they are not you. They don't seem like you. They don't seem like Imam Maduabo. They don't like Shiamaka Jerwe. They don't like Sana Akwarawa. They don't like Ogenkere. There is how they reason and how they see everything that is happening. Their way is not. That is why they said The word of man is not the word of God. The word of international community is not the word of you claiming you are fighting for Biafra, which you used to defraud our people here and there, and finding your own position to become a useless relevant that you are claiming that you want to be. It's not that way. It's the other way around. The reasoning of the international community that we are seeking for them to recognize us, their way is quite different from you and how I reason until you start reasoning like them. Until you start asking questions. Then you will be finding an answer without wasting time. And I want you to know that when it comes to government in exile, there is a backup law that backs government in exile. There is a backup law for a government in exile. Before I transition into the headline, listen to the backup with a document, Redeclaration, and the government in exile. Listen to this full backup. I will play it once, then we move. Listen.
Exactly. The Stimson Doctrine, 1932, is a cornerstone of modern international relations because it fundamentally changed.
Remember, push year 1932, that this law has started exist till today. That's why I told you the world can only try to shy away, but the law can never see us and change. Now, I want you to know, it's not quite 3 years. It's not to 2 years. We have gotten the right of way to achieve Biafra as a country. So I start counting from November 29, 2024 till now is when I start counting that we have gotten it right since over all these years. We have never gotten it right at all. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa Njoko, lead us on the right track to achieve Biafra on a right way, and the right on the legal doctrine of the international community of the continuity of a lost country through a peaceful redeclaration by government in exile.
The rules of the game.
The rules of the game.
Before this, conquest was often seen.
Every game has rules. Every game has rules. Your house has rules and law that guides your house. In your working place has rules and guide it. The rules and the guideline and the law of having a lost country is not by protest. It's not. It's not by knocking woto in this 21st century. In the 80s and 90s that we knock woto. Do we gain it? The answer is hell no. And now the world wants a peaceful way, legal. This legal way can never see USB redeclared documents and change. There is a rules. There is laws. There is existing protocol. There is a line to follow to achieve Biafra as a country. The only first time ever after the 1967 to 1970, we lost Biafra as a country. We have never gotten it right until November the 29, 2024. From that day, the coming of Simon Ekpa put us on a very strategic trigger trap to achieve Biafra as a country. The trigger is to achieve Biafra as a country. You know what I mean, trigger? You know what it simply means? The trigger to achieve any country in this world is by 1, forming a government in exile, 2, issue a peaceful declaration, 3, submitting the document of the real declaration that you were a nation in waiting, sovereignty, whether I like it or not. They said, even though when others did not see you as a sovereignty, that your document and those who signed the Redeclaration document has made you to become what? A sovereignty in the paper. And in the 21st century, that we must win from the paper first before going on the homeland. Like why they said that all these 4 countries remain in exile until the law is being restored fully, and they went back to their country. That is why Poland stayed in exile for 51 good years.
As a legal way to acquire land.
Okay.
After this doctrine, international law shifted to protect the victim of aggression rather than the victor. To understand why this is the ultimate backup for a government in exile today, here is how that legal logic works in practice. 1. The legal fiction of continuity. The doctrine creates what lawyers call a legal fiction. Even if an aggressor has their boots on the ground and their flag on the poles, the law refuses to see it. The survival of the state.
Even though that they have boot on ground, they have flag on air, but they are using conflicts that the world will do as right. Talk less of IPOB does not have boot on the ground now. IPOB does not have flag being raised anyway. And the time of Ojukwu, who has boot on ground, who raised the flag, do we succeed? Answer is no. Now we have gone into a fight, we did not get it. Why can't we go to a peaceful way that the world is said that this is only way to achieve Biafra as a country? You think we will achieve Biafra with protests and the name of organization like you, fallback BRGIE? You are not there. I am very proud when I have found out that the only official exile government that the world knows for the Biafran people is United States of Biafra, was declared in November 2024. Very soon I will give, after this, we go straight to the question, straight to the program.
Because the occupation is illegal, the state itself cannot die. It is considered suspended. The government's role, the government in exile, acts as the physical custodian of that suspended sovereignty. As long as that
government in exile is acting as a physical representative of the what? The lost country. In exile, not in Biafra land. Mokoko.
Exists and continues to issue redeclarations, the claim to the land never expires. 2. Nullification of treaties and agreements. If a territory is gained by force, the Stimson doctrine ensures that any contracts or treaties signed by the occupier regarding that land are void. Any resources extracted by the occupier are technically stolen. This is why centralized leadership is so important. They are the only ones who can legally protest these actions in international courts to ensure the occupier never gets a clear title to the land. 3. Connection to the UN Charter, Article 2.4. The Stimson doctrine was eventually upgraded into the UN Charter. Article 2.4 strictly prohibits the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. Modern enforcement. This is the same law being used today to justify why countries refuse to recognize annexed territories in modern conflicts. It provides the legal shield that allows a government in exile to sit at the diplomatic table while the occupier is treated as a lawbreaker. 4. Why redeclaration is the trigger. In this legal framework, a redeclaration of independence or restoration.
A redeclaration is for the trigger to have Biafra as a country.
Is like a legal filing. It tells the world, we have not gone away. We have not surrendered, and we are invoking the doctrine of non-recognition. Without an official redeclaration from a central leader, like a chief of staff or prime minister, the international community might assume the people have accepted the new status quo. The redeclaration keeps the legal case active. Summary of the legal shield. Legal tool. Function for the lost country. Stimson doctrine. Prevents the occupier from ever being the legal owner. Ex injuria jus non oritur. A legal maxim meaning, law does not arise from injustice. Illegal acts cannot create legal rights. State continuity. Allows the government in exile to maintain the country's identity for decades if necessary. This is why, in the 21st century, the focus is so heavily on administrative filings, diplomatic lobbying, and peaceful redeclarations. These aren't just symbolic acts. They are the specific legal moves required to keep the Stimson doctrine shield activated.
I hope you heard it clearly. Is it clear to you? Now, like I said, we are moving into the real deal of the day, what you see on our headline. Exposition from 2001 to 2026, the all-official exile government with the document of declaration and the names of the leaders. Listen, the world are keeping record. It's not by you. It's not by what you tell social media. It's not by what you think. I want you to listen. From section 1, my question was, in the whole world, what is the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in this 21st century? Do you hear the headline? I want someone to confirm that you hear this headline clearly. Because this is where you have to send to the enemies and every platforms. I said, my question that I want you to ask on your phone is, in the whole world, what is the name? What is the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in this 21st century? That is from 2001 to 2026. So far, so good. I want somebody who had this, what I said right now, to help me to put this question on the comment section and put this question mark. That is because that is how we are going to be running this program. So all of us we will be here to understand what we are doing. But as we are waiting, I think let me put it on the comment section so you can see it from there. So you can also read and tell the flavors to go and find out by themselves. So you will tell the flavors, let them come and tell us. Let them go and find out by themselves. Let them do what? Let them go and ask the question by themselves to give us the answer. What I'm doing, I am not hiding what I'm doing. When I do, I give you so you can go and find it out by yourself. That is what I'm doing here. Not just to come and read it for you and you go in as right like that. I want you to follow me when we are here to do this program so you can also contribute. Yes. Check the comment section. You can see this is my question under the research. In the whole world, what is the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in this 21st century? That is my question. So I may ask you, are we good to go to hear the names? Do you want to hear the official names, not by us, by the international community that is observing everything that we are doing? There is those that are observing what we are doing. You don't know. And you think it's a child's play. You think it's a child's play? Ekwem, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then I see Ucheraf. Ucheraf, your network is never allowed me. I don't know why. Anytime you enter the link, we are trying to pick you. We said you are not connected to your mic, so you will not enter. That is the problem, Uche. I always see you. Angus Ugochukwu, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Uchenna said yes. Carry on. Yes, so now listen to the latest of this 21st century that started from 2001 to 2026. Now listen to the names of the country that was declared official, that the world knows that they have government in exile and they are in existence now, looking for recognition. Listen to this.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra,
Are you hearing it?
This movement represents a modern application of the legal principles of restoration and state continuity, moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession and toward a 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation. The latest official case, United States of Biafra, USB. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile culminated in late 2024 with a series of structured peaceful legal actions. The trigger event. On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Restoration of the Independent State of Biafra. The framework, the Redeclaration, established the United States of Biafra, USB, as the successor to the original 1967 Republic, emphasizing a decentralized structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. The peaceful method. Unlike previous eras, this 21st century redeclaration was backed by a self-referendum, conducted throughout 2024, that reportedly gathered over 50 million affirmative votes, providing a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. Other 21st century restoration comparisons. While the USB is the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a previously lost state, other groups in the 21st century use similar government in exile models. 1. Kabyle Provisional Government, ANAVAD, formed in 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. They maintain a structured cabinet and have issued their own declarations, though they seek a new state rather than the restoration of a 20th century sovereign one. 2. National Unity Government, BRGIE, of Myanmar, formed in 2021 following a coup. While technically a, quote, government in exile, their goal is the restoration of the existing state's democracy rather than the redeclaration of a lost or suppressed country. The legal backup for the USB model. The United States of Biafra explicitly utilizes the legal frameworks we discussed to bypass the rebel label and seek sovereign status, invoking the Montevideo Convention. By establishing a capital, Ebube, a constitution and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and prime minister, they are checking the boxes of organized political authority, administrative presence. By engaging in FARA-registered lobbying in the United States and holding conventions in the EU, the government in exile is utilizing the 21st century diplomatic channel to prove they are a responsible international actor. The doctrine of non-recognition. The Redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the Stimson doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that the original sovereignty of the people was never legally extinguished. This approach makes the November 29, 2024 declaration a unique case study in modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal filings and administrative restoration to regain independence in an era that otherwise strongly protects existing borders.
In Africa right now, that's why I told that one of the most effective government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration and working towards that is USB Redeclared. Amadi Chigozie said USB has bypassed the rebel status. Yeah, that's why I told you that the Redeclaration of the USB remove us from rebel, treason, terrorism. The matter has closed. We are here, according to our brother Ekwem. We are here. It doesn't matter the noise you see again, Kere. It doesn't matter what Chiamaka Jerry their group is. It doesn't matter what Imam Abu them doing. It doesn't matter what IPOB Masov. It doesn't matter. There is a legal criteria of 21st century which USB stand on it. And it's the only USB. In Africa, yes, there is a country that wants to exit from Algeria. They follow their declaration on where today, this country from Algeria, the government in exile is in France. Don't worry. I am coming down to give you you will hear the full details of all of them today. And any country with government in exile where they reside today. Hold on, we are coming. Just like and share. Invite more people to come and listen. Now, if I ask you on that's my question in the research, did they give us the answer? The question I asked that is give this answer is, in the whole world, what is the latest official government in exile that issue peaceful redeclaration in this 21st century? With a little one you have had so far, did you answer the question under research? I want you to tell me yes or no, and I will play it again.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, USB. This movement represents a modern application of the legal principles of restoration and state continuity, moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession and toward a 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation. The latest official case, United States of Biafra, USB. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile culminated in late 2024 with a series of structured, peaceful legal actions. The trigger event. On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Restoration of the Independent State of Biafra. The framework, the Redeclaration, established the United States of Biafra, USB, as the successor to the original 1967 Republic, emphasizing a decentralized structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. The peaceful method. Unlike previous eras, this 21st century redeclaration was backed by a self-referendum, conducted throughout 2024, that reportedly gathered over 50 million affirmative votes, providing a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. Other 21st century restoration comparisons. While the USB is the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a previously lost state, other groups in the 21st century use similar government in exile models. 1. Kabyle Provisional Government, ANAVAD, formed in 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. They maintain a structured cabinet and have issued their own declarations, though they seek a new state rather than the restoration of a 20th century sovereign one. 2. National Unity Government, BRGIE, of Myanmar, formed in 2021 following a coup. While technically a, quote, government in exile, their goal is the restoration of the existing state's democracy rather than the redeclaration of a lost or suppressed country. The legal backup for the USB model. The United States of Biafra explicitly utilizes the legal frameworks we discussed to bypass the rebel label and seek sovereign status, invoking the Montevideo Convention. By establishing a capital, Ebube, a constitution and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and prime minister, they are checking the boxes of organized political authority, administrative presence. By engaging in FARA-registered lobbying in the United States and holding conventions in the EU, the government in exile is utilizing the 21st century diplomatic channel to prove they are a responsible international actor. The doctrine of non-recognition. The Redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the Stimson doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that the original sovereignty of the people was never legally extinguished. This approach makes the November 29, 2024 declaration a unique case study in modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal filings and administrative restoration to regain independence in an era that otherwise strongly protects existing borders.
Why am I not going to, why are you surprised? I am very happy. And that is why I am proud. As I am a citizen of United States of Biafra all the way. No other government in exile. No other one. All this is making is just their that is how DPM use that word. They are individuals that are making on social media. These are individuals. Now, to make your mind to understand it very well before we go into analysis, I will play the second question. My second question was, I want to know all the government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are staying or reside, and the name of the leaders that issue peaceful declaration. Do you understand it? Or you want me to post it on the comment section again so you can read as we are playing it? If you really know where we are, you should not. That is why I don't have time to analyze mediocres, and I will never analyze them. Triple M, I see you. Thank you so much. I can never analyze mediocres. I can never. Remember the question that what I ask on the research after the first one I give to you. My question is, I want to know all the government in exile that issue a peaceful redeclaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are staying, and the names of their leaders that issue a peaceful redeclaration. And I ask you, do you want me to pose this question on the comment section so you read as we are playing? Because this program, I'm going after this, analyzing this, I'm going to put the program could just be 2 hours and we are done with the program. So, do you want me to post my question to comment section so you can just copy it and go and find it through your phone? I want yes or no. Do you want me to post my question to comment section so you can also find it out by yourself? Do you want that? I'm waiting for yes from people or no. Then before I will play this particular one that we give your mind joy, that will make you to be proud, that will make you to support USV redeclared, that will make you to donate more and more. For you to know that you are not the only one that is in exile, that there is many, but the latest redeclaration in this from 2021 to 2026 is USB redeclared. Remember my question, do you want me to post this question I asked you on the comment section? So if you are doubting me, you will go and copy it, you will copy it and go and do research by yourself. And find out if it is true. I am waiting. If you didn't see yes, I will not move. If you didn't see no, I will not. I want to know you are. I want us to rub our mind together. I want us to rub our mind together. My question is, do you want me to post my question that I'm going to give you the answer right now on the comment section? So in case the enemies come, you will direct them, tell them, copy this, put it in your phone to research, even in your Google, go there and research it. I'm waiting for an answer. I'm waiting. Thank you so much, Triple M. Thank you so much. Now, let us go into this answer, which had happened to be our headline you are seeing in front of your screen. Listen to this.
In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders, Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis, based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes, invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government, seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France, declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader, Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis, a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders, Ghulam Yagma has served as president. Salih Hudayar has served as prime minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis, claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration, October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries, various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders, Sisiku Ayuktabe. First president currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, acting president of the interim government. Legal basis, invokes the failure of the 1961 federal agreement and uses the Buea Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status, Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024. Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orabweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025. France. Ferhat Meheni. Federal Republic. Exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004. USA. Salih Hudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1, 2017. USA. Various. Dr. Samuel Sako. Interim Govt. Exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orabweze and Ferhat Meheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
I hope you had it clear. Are we only the one that use government in exile? I see you. Ikechukwu, thank you so much. Divinity, Mazi, Honorable, good evening from here. Sorry, good afternoon from here. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, have you seen reason why you must know that the only country you have is USB redeclared? Now, look at the comment section. You can see my question. My question under my research is, I want to know all the government in exile that issue peaceful redeclaration from 2001 to 2026 and in which country they are staying, and the names of their leaders that issue peaceful redeclaration. With only first reading, do they give us the answer to the question? With our first reading on this question, did they answer it clearly? Yes. For me. I don't know about you. So if you are doubting me from the mediocres and the individuals, please copy this question or write it in your own way and ask question. If you are IPOB member, type this, ask question. If you are in Masob, type this, ask question. If you are in fallback, believe in BRGIE, type this and find out by yourself. If you are CPRC, if you are PUC, you go 247. Type this out. The way of the international community is not your way as a black man you are. You were disgrace to a human being. To entire human being, you were disgrace. Challenging and talking trash against USB we are declared. Because of your own selfish interests. Because of your own envy and jealousy that will buy you. You know, when that's why I told you, we have grown beyond them to give me the saga of IPOB. I will be discussing it. We have transitioned from, we have moved away from those levels. We have moved away. Do you hear this here? That we transition from the BRGIE that issue a peaceful declaration through our Deputy Prime Minister, the Chief of Staff, on behalf of Simon Ekpa Njoko, the Prime Minister, into a country in waiting. We will go into our analysis, and anytime I stop, then I will open the mic and put the link for Biafrans to join. I will play this once again. What am I playing? The question. I want to know all the government in exile that issue peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are staying. I want to use a word that is very easy for us. And the names of these leaders, or names of the leaders that issue peaceful declaration. Listen, and listen good. Please record, share, like, and invite more people to join us.
In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders, Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis, based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes. Invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson Doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government, seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France, declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader, Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis, a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders, Ghulam Yagma, has served as president. Saleh Hudayar has served as prime minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis, claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration, October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries. Various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders. Sisiku Ayuktabe. First President currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, Acting President of the Interim Government. Legal basis, invokes the failure of the 1961 Federal Agreement and uses the BRGIE Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status, Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024, Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orobweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025, France. Ferhat Maheni. Federal Republic, exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004, USA. Salihudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1, 2017, USA. Various. Dr. Samuel Sako. Interim Govt, exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orobweze and Ferhat Maheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
Are you fully still doubting Ngozi Arabez and USB are declared as the only country of the people of Biafra? Are you still doubting? What gives a country is in document. What makes a country is in document. That's why I said, there is no amount of propaganda that will change this. The satellite of the world is on whatever our DPM and the kernel of USB is doing. Go and check. The latest we are declared on November the 29th, 2024 is United States of Biafra by Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. Kabylia was declared December 14, 2025. After our redeclaration, they declared their own. 2025, December 14. Where do they have the government in exile? In France, is where they are staying. What of Easter Tukana? September 14, 2024. They have September 4, 2024. Where do they reside? US. Ambazonia was declared October 1st, 2017. Where they reside? Their leaders, various leaders reside in America and other places we are hearing. What are you doing? We have moved, and the world knows the truth. The way of the world is not your way. What gives the Biafra recognition is not what you think. It's legal document and a structure for government. Once government is proving that we are in control, please, I urge you. Hello, my brother. Thank you so much. Amachigozie, thank you so much. Please, I want you to like the program and share. And there is one thing I want to be, once you are continuously commenting on the comment section with a different thing that's coming into your mind, that is how YouTube is moving the message, the YouTube to come out. So please, endeavor to, if you have the time, today is Monday, many Biafra is at work. So please, but I ask you, as you are working, just take 1 minute to type to help the message to go viral. If you never like, I ask you to like. This is Real Biafra TV, currently known as USB Researcher or USB Research. All I do is to research everything about government in exile, peaceful declaration. Can you use humanity to achieve your country? And that is all I specific on it because I find out that this is what we are. This is how things that we need to know that needs to give us Biafra, not any other thing around us. The world knows Ngozi Arabeze. They never knew her as Ngozi Alematu. They did not know her as Ngozi Arabeze Fulani. They did not know her as Onubujasoma Ajani. No. No. The world knows her as Deputy Prime Minister, Chief of Staff, that issue a peaceful declaration and stand on that peaceful declaration. There are only two being mentioned here. Only two of them. Why, you may ask, why is it two of them that they are the one that their name is appearing all the time in African movement? They are the most two powerful. You see this Kabylia from Algeria. If in Africa, in that there is 9 in Africa. In that 9, there is only effective 2. The effective 2, number one is USB we are declared through Ngozi Arabeze. Second is this Kabylia. They are the one taking second position. That was declared. Look at them. They was declared December 14, 2005. Ambazonia is seeking to number 4 in Africa. Despite being declared in 2017. This is a countries in Africa that have government in exile. We reside. Why do they use Finland? Host location where we hosted our own in Finland for USB we are declared through our DPM, restoring state exile. December, Kabylia, December 14, 2005, reside where? Location where they reside, France. Then, Eastern Turukashata, September 14, 2024, reside in US. What? Government in exile. Hey, Jesus Christ. What about Amazonia? US. Government in what? Interim government in exile. That is how they put their own. That is how the world organized them. It's not about Togenkere shouting, hey, BRGIE. It's not about that. It is about the right thing to do. The right way of the international community that he's working, he's looking for, is not the way you, like African man, as a black man you are. Divine, you are welcome. Thank you so much. Please, I urge you to like and share. And the more you are commenting, the more YouTube is flagging the YouTube up to people to see what we are doing. So we are going to start from analysis from here, from the latest. From what? From the latest. Chief priest, I see you. I hope this chief priest is not the one from the zoo. the demon that is killing Biafran people in Biafran land. So let's start from the first research of this. The first is, my question on the first research is, I want to know all the government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are staying, and the names of their leaders. No, this is the last that summarizes everything. So the first is, in the whole world, what is the name of the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in this 21st century that starts from 2001? So let us see the latest that are very effective. Let us see.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, US.
Are you hearing it? 21st century started from 2001 is when it started, and is going to end in 2100. That's what they call century. In 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of government in exile issue a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, USB. Remember my question and look at the answer. This movement represents a model application of the legal principle of restoration and the state's continuity, that we continue, that we never forget that we are Biafrans, that we need our own corner that we lost. Moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession, and towards the 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation, we have reclaimed our country back through a peaceful redeclaration. The latest, the official case, United States of what? Biafra. Now, in this government in exile that we mentioned, do you hear BRGIE, the government in exile, BRGIE? Do you hear Genkere? You that is flowing someone that does not have a document, you that is flowing a wrong person, come out from there and come and have rest in your mind and stop writing garbage. And any platform you go, they block you. Please, as we proceed, I want you to like. If you never do that, continue your comments. Please, it's very important. It's very important. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile in late 2024 with a series of a structured, peaceful, legal action. You know, our people, until we stop this way we're reasoning. I said what? Until we stop the way we are reasoning, that is when you start doing another different thing. Because all we are doing from time immemorial till now is what has been what is been doing from over all these years of attacking, analyzing one another. They are giving you message for you to forget the right thing to do. And they don't want you to have time to give the message that will disturb their mind. Give the message of how many years the government, starting from 2001 to 2026, put the message to go far. Send it to them. Check the message, the 28 minutes program or the 28 minutes audio record I did today. Listen to that message. Send it to any group, to anywhere to listen. Download it. It's not even up to 20. It's just 20 minutes or 18 minutes thereabout. So you may understand, and them also may understand. I want you to know that without USB redeclared, we don't have our own country. But with USB redeclared, we have our own country back. Now let's continue. The trigger event, the trigger to recognition, the trigger to become a country. On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra government in exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Resurrection of the Independent State of what? Biafra. Now, who issued that declaration? Is it Ogenkere, who always a photocopy man, who always a betrayer, who always want to take over what does not belong to him. He always steals someone's property and claim that he is his own. Ogenkere steals Biafra government and claiming that he's the one who formed it. That's what he's doing with Elias. Because Elias see his fellow criminal from where he can make money. And the only way he does is to embrace Ogenkere. And the only thing that brings him out in America is to embrace Ogenkere. So, who declared the independence of Biafra? Who? Listen. Remember, there's something I want you to remember from here. How the world analyzed what we are doing, or what happened in November the 20th, 2024. Look at how the world analyzed it. The trigger event on November 29, 2024, during the convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic government in exile, that is who we are, under bracket BRGIE, officially issue the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Are you hearing it? Is it Ogenkere issued the real declaration December 29? No, now. He said it was declared on November. Sorry, he said it was declared on December 2nd. And the world have adopted the day it was declared, acting and watching us closely towards that. The framework, the real declaration, established the United State of what? Biafra as the successor to the original 1967 republic, embracing structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. That the USB were declared into the government in exile of United States of Biafra, that we are the original republic of lost country called Biafra in 1967 to 1970. How do we emphasize this? Through the doctrinalization of a structure of the 40 states of United States of Biafra, ensuring inclusive governance. Now, we'll continue. The peace model, unlike previous era of the 1967 to 1970, the 21st century Redeclaration was backed by self-referendum conducted throughout 2024. This is the document our DPM submitted in the EU, UN, EU, Washington, D.C., White House, and every country is about 150-something countries, so far so good, that has received USB Redeclared document, the original. That reportedly gathered over 50 million votes, provide a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. And who has this result in his hand? With the document of Redeclared, our DPM, our United States of Biafra government structure has it. The cabinet members has it in their hand. Remember, they said that this vote is one of the most requirements for international recognition. Anthony Umeje from Chile, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm gonna see you. Thank you. Or Irobinobi. This your name is somehow. Thank you so much. Other 21st century restoration that has happened. Why the USB, the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a profession of a previous lost country, lost state, we declare what? Here they use the word restoration of restoration of declaration of the lost state called Biafra. Other groups in the 21st century use a similar government in exile model. Kabili, the professional government, formed in 2010 in France. It was formed. How about Obie? Formed the government in exile when? If you are following, I want to know if you followed about Obie. When did about Obie form government in exile? When? I will not say. I won't say about it. I want you to put it in the comment section. That is task I give to you as you are following me. Which year about Obie officially registered government in exile? Which year? I want to know if you are following about Obie or if you are following this platform, because I have done that in the past. Formed in 2010 in France. Yes, so 3 p.m. Thank you. 2023. About Obie from government in exile. Now, November. Yes. Remember that France, that's Kabili, that are seeking their recognition or their way out to Algeria, formed the government in exile 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. What about Obie? Officially registered government in exile on November 2023. That is when it is become of, I mean, the official, not when we are just using that name. When Obato register it, when Obato send this criminal organ to go and register it. But starting from 2022, Obato has started adopt 2021. We are into autopilot /2022. Then from 2022, Obato starts adopting strategies of government in exile that was officially registered November 2023. Is it clear to you? This is how we transition. Okay, we'll continue. They maintain a structure of a cabinet and it has issued their own declaration in France, where the painted hair white woman was messing up today. Kabylia have government in exile that issue area declaration. So sorry, their own was the first time declaration. Now, they seek a new state rather than the restoration of the 20th century sovereignty one. Do you see clear to you? Their own is declaration. They are just a newly seeking to move away from Algeria. They have government in exile. Algeria will soon break into two. That is USB is number one. Then Kabylia is number two. Let us go. The National Unity Government, UNG of Myanmar, formed in 2001 following a coup white technical government in exile. Their goal is to restore of the existing states democracy rather than redeclaration of a loss of supposed country. Redeclared. Want to understand it? I have given you how many now? 3. I've given you what? 3. It happened in this 21st century that started in 2001. Precisely. The legal backup for the USB model. Are you listening? The United States of Biafra, the United States of Biafra exploits the legal framework where discussed to bypass the rebel label and the seek sovereign status. Our redeclaration of the USB move us out from anybody calling us rebel. Nobody, they're not born you were. Try now, because there is a law. It's only you that is a Biafran who believe in the nonsense, you believe in your mind, your envy, your hatred, your jealousness can make such a name that we are calling USB redeclared. And the government leaves you because Biafran constitution, we dealt with all of you mercilessly. There is no mercy. Law will take its course in due time. The law must take its course in due time. This redeclaration, the framework of redeclaration of USB with the legal document has moved us away from what? From anybody to label us rebel. And now we are seeking what? Sovereignty status as a country in waiting. Invoking the Montevideo Convention by establishing capital Ebube, a continuation and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and the prime minister. This is how the 21st century model works. Not DOS. Mokoko. They are checking the boss of the organized political authority, USB, and all this African that has gone through a legal means. They said that USB is checking the boss of the world with a message document, but banning them. That is what they call pressure to the international global community. The pressure is not coming on social media. We are BRGIE. It's not. And the BRGIE does not belong to you. You are a criminal. A rogue. Let's continue. Administrative presence by engaging in the federal registered lobby in the United States and holding a convention in the EU. They never knew that USD has held a convention in the EU. The government-in-exile, the 21st century diplomatic channel, to prove they are responsible international actor to restore a new country called United States of Biafra. It's not how you think. It's not how I feel. When you are listening to this, that's why I told you, there is things you can't give me a message. You can't. You can't give me what I will discuss in my page. Rather, I will be the one to give you, because there is what is holding us. Internal war is not holding us. Why do I mean? Evidence of it is this. If the internal war is holding us, you will hear it here on this monitoring of USB and the things that have been keeping in archive for the Biafra as a new nation that is coming up. Let's continue. The doctrine of non-recognition. The redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that its original sovereignty of the people was never legal executed or extinguished. This approach make the November 29, 2024 declaration a case study in the modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal files and administrative restriction to regain independence in an era that otherwise struggle, protest, exist. Borders can never give you a nation without USB redeclared. Listen to this. I will play it once again because I want to put the link between a short time now.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, USB. This movement represents a modern application of the legal principles of restoration and state continuity, moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession and toward a 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation. The latest official case, United States of Biafra, USB. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile culminated in late 2024 with a series of structured peaceful legal actions.
Please, like
The
I
trigger
see
event.
as you join us.
On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Restoration of the Independent State of Biafra. The framework, the Redeclaration, established the United States of Biafra, USB, as the successor to the original 1967 Republic, emphasizing a decentralized structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. The peaceful method. Unlike previous eras, this 21st century Redeclaration was backed by a self-referendum, conducted throughout 2024, that reportedly gathered over 50 million affirmative votes, providing a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. Other 21st century restoration comparisons. While the USB is the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a previously lost state, other groups in the 21st century use similar government-in-exile models. 1. Kabyle Provisional Government, ANAVAD, formed in 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. They maintain a structured cabinet and have issued their own declarations, though they seek a new state rather than the restoration of a 20th century sovereign one. 2. National Unity Government, BRGIE, of Myanmar, formed in 2021 following a coup. While technically a, quote, government in exile, their goal is the restoration of the existing state's democracy rather than the redeclaration of a lost or suppressed country. The legal backup for the USB model. The United States of Biafra explicitly utilizes the legal frameworks we discussed to bypass the rebel label and seek sovereign status, invoking the Montevideo Convention. By establishing a capital, Ebube, a constitution and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and prime minister, they are checking the boxes of organized political authority, administrative presence. By engaging in FARA-registered lobbying in the United States and holding conventions in the EU, the government in exile is utilizing the 21st century diplomatic channel to prove they are a responsible international actor. The doctrine of non-recognition. The Redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the Stimson doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that the original sovereignty of the people was never legally extinguished. This approach makes the November 29, 2024 Declaration a unique case study in modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal filings and administrative restoration to regain independence in an era that otherwise strongly protects existing borders.
I hope it's clear to you. Nothing like fallback BRGIE or Fogenkere. It does not exist in the international community. It's only paying money to do that shenanigan that he's doing to confuse you in America. That is all he can do, nothing more than that. He goes nowhere. The world knows the truth. Now we are going to play the second session. The second session explains himself. So as I'm playing, I'll put the link. I want you to concentrate on this when you enter towards the link. My question was, or my question is, I want to know all the government in exile that issued peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026 and in which country they are staying and the names of the leaders that issued this peaceful declaration. Listen, this one no need much explanation, but it's going to be a preamble.
In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders, Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis, based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes, invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France. Declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader, Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis, a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders, Ghulam Yagma has served as president. Saleh Hudayar has served as prime minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis, claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration, October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries, various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders, Sisiku Ayuktabe. First president currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, acting president of the interim government. Legal basis, invokes the failure of the 1961 federal agreement and uses the Buea Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status, Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024. Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orobweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025. France. Ferhat Meheni. Federal Republic. Exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004. USA. Saleh Hudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1, 2017. USA. Various. Dr. Samuel Sako. Interim Govt. Exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orobweze and Ferhat Meheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
I hope it sounds clear to your ear. In case you want to join us, you are free to use the link to join me. Tell us what you feel. Now you have known that it is official to you that there is no any other government in exile that do exist except USB. There is no movement saying anything about Biafra except USB we are declared through our DP. Please, I keep on asking you to put your comments and also like the program. Invite another person to join us. When you share to your Facebook and any other place you can, you are helping to let people know that we are live and we are direct. So please, when you are listening to a program, the most important thing is to like it, because once you like, people will know that we are live and direct. When you look at what you hear, do you hear BGC Ogenkere here? Sorry, do you hear fallback? Biafra government in exile, BRGIE for Ogenkere does not exist. Do you hear BGC? Remember, does not exist. Do you hear CRC? It does not exist. Masob does not exist. IPOB does not exist right now after our peaceful declaration. The owner, the original owner of the lost country of Biafra is United of Biafra. We are declared through Congo Arabese. No other one, no other United, no other Biafra. No other one. No other one. Now, if you doubt USB, do you doubt from Kabylia that is this from Algeria? That's they declared their own. Also, do you doubt? Do you also doubt Ambazonia? Do you also doubt Eastern Turu Kasata? Do you also doubt it? As you don't believe in USB, that is true what I'm doing. Let's ask you to do your findings. Very simple something. Tell them you want to know the latest exile government that issue a peaceful declaration and by which name. Just do it on the Google and get satisfied by yourself. Do it on the Google and get answered by yourself. That is why I want you to know. If you are doubting USB, you are declared. You are doubting your father. You are doubting that your mother, that your father is not the one who gives birth to you and that you are not from that family. If you are against USB, you are against your own destiny. You are against your own country. There is no other country you have except USB you are declared, whether I like it or not. The only thing you look at is what you feel and what you think. That is only thing that is in your head. And that is why I'm telling you right here that is in your head and that you are claiming does not exist. It only exists in all of you, in few of you who believe in that. If you go today to the platform of Petty Ford, people is watching, like, and they'll be ranting. If you go to Sonia Akwarawa, how many people? Go to Chiamaka Ajere, how many of them? Biafrans has left them. The same way Biafra has left IPOB. Forget the shenanigan. And you are still in IPOB, carry flag and protest. You want Biafra. Oh, the Biafra has been given already. The world has put in their archive those that are the owners of Biafra as their country. In all these things, all these names I had here, government in exile. Have you here IPOB, government in exile? No, now they're not government. They are a IPOB one family protest group. We move. IPOB one test. We move. That is all they can do. No transition. Obi is a boy every year. Obi is a boy every year. This IPOB organization. Masob, Kande one. The same method of IPOB is what Ogenkri is trying to use. The same method of BGC is all these things. They are just these individuals and these mediocres. They're just making social media. They are just doing what? Making noise in social media. That is all they can do. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than what you see them doing already. And the world knows a country in waiting. The world knows those that are out there to give their people their country. And in all these exile governments in the world, the most effective one in Africa is USB Redeclared, followed by Kabylia. This one is that already exit from Algeria. They did the exit from where? From Algeria. So you see all this noise making that we are seeing today. You see all that are making us. I said, never you panic. Just know that it's only USB Redeclared. It's the only exile government that the world knows. Not okay. When they ask of who declared Biafra, what name did you get there? Is it not only the name of our DPM? That's why I told that all these mediocres that you are seeing today, that none of them will give us Biafra as a country. None of them has anything to offer us. Nothing. It's only USB. That is why we must stand in USB Redeclared. That is why only USB is the only lifeline we have. You may not like the program, you may come and run away, but this is all I can do. But that is what I know that other countries, how they proceed, none of them, that their internal matter stop their recognition when it's due time for recognition. The 8 group that marched in Namibia never stopped Namibia to get recognition. The 9 in Algeria never stopped them. So all these things doesn't move me. What is moving me is if we are on the line of how others achieve their country through that legal means of having Biafra as a country in the 21st century, through government in exile. I will play more once again. Listen to it.
In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders: Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis: based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes, invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government, seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France. Declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader: Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis: a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders: Ghulam Yagma has served as president. Saleh Hudayar has served as prime minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis: claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration, October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries: various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders: Sisiku Ayuktabe, first president currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, acting president of the interim government. Legal basis: invokes the failure of the 1961 federal agreement and uses the Buea Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status: Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024. Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orebweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025. France. Ferhat Meheni. Federal Republic. Exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004. USA. Saleh Hudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1, 2017. USA. Various. Dr. Samuel Sako. Interim Govt, exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orebweze and Ferhat Meheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
Yes, I welcome my brother Olusegun God from here. Good evening from my location, and have the mic, sir. Mazi.
Okay, Mazi. Thank you so much. I've been listening.
Mazi, we are not hearing you.
You're not hearing
Yes.
me.
Now you're coming out loud and clear. We can hear you now.
Okay. So I have a visitor. They are fixing my boiler since morning.
Yeah.
So, and I've been listening. So, but I have two questions I want to ask you, because from all indications, based on the people who declared in Algeria, now they did theirs in 2025 and ours was 2024.
Yeah.
So my question to you now is, from all what you have said, even from the thing audio you are playing, United States of Biafra have been, identified, have been recognized, that is an emerging nation. I want to ask you, how long now? Two questions I have. How long will it take them now to say, I recognize you? Because from what I had now is, sometimes it takes time. What is this reason for taking time? Because when you have met all these conditions, like all these things you are saying now, I have seen it that we have met every condition, both peaceful redeclaration. We have printed our agenda. We have a powerful government. We have people who are working in foreign ministry, foreign affairs. And when you take documents to any country here in Europe, they don't even doubt you. They don't even look at you like you come here for a joke. The thing is, like, I think they know we are there. But what is always holding recognitions? That's number one question. If you can answer before I go to the second one, please.
Yeah. Number one is that this recognition is not coming from money. As number two, the world must watch you, look at you, observe you. Let me go to a common example. In a house, you take time to observe your sons and your daughters.
Yes.
To study who they are and what they can do.
Yes.
There is no specific year that you will stop monitoring them until they left your house to their husband's house. Your eyes and the monitoring to observe them, who they are, has expired.
Yes.
Now, when they have a problem in their husband's house, if they come back, you only use the initiative of what you monitored when they are with you to know who they are and ask them questions and they believe or doubt what they are saying, what they are telling, why they come back from the husband's house.
Exactly.
Then,
yes.
And that area. The number two, in the areas of 80s and 90s, the changes of the level of the saboteurs, betrayers, and what money does, and also in a case of people that have oil that people have already been gaining from, it might be delayed.
Yes.
If America can declare their own and hold on for a year and 6 months before one country in Africa called no go come and recognize them, after they have met all these criteria.
Yes.
Then if also America can hold on for 3 years before France will now come recognize them and they give them equipment to chase away Britain in their territory.
Yes.
Today, if Poland can hold on for 50 years, after their declaration in 1947, the first recognition of Holland was after 10 years of their declaration, before they can be able to achieve recognition of their country. When Philippines declares their country, after they have reclaimed their declaration, take their country back, they waited for 15 years before they achieved their first recognition. When Algeria in Africa declares their own, they waited for 18 years before they can be able to achieve their first recognition. When Algeria in Africa declares their own, Algeria waited for what they said 30 years, over 3 decades, before they can achieve it. When Eritrea or etc. declares their own from outside Ethiopia, They waited for confirm 15 years before they get recognition. So what will happen to us is what has happened to others. And this thing is a country that decides to recognize you. It's a political process. You have to convince them that, because they said that nobody is ready to recognize a contract tomorrow. The country will become a topic of the world. How they could not be able to establish their country. So
Yes.
they are monitoring us to know our stand and what we can do, and how we are also, whether we will leave the internet, the international matter, and be talking about internal matter, which is what we all are doing, which what some of us are doing in social media today. They are observing everything that we are doing.
Okay.
Until they're convinced by themselves, they will not recognize us.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I really understand, because from every indication we have met the conditions, and thank God the United States of Biafra government is putting a lot of mechanism in place for the recognition to come fast. So
Yes.
another question I have is, now that because I have seen we have returned into the world map, and which was not there before. Now we are getting to this level. I want to ask you again, because based on what you have said previously, people like you gave reference to Namibia. After this and that, there was 8 groups, and after this 8 group, they went back. They recognized one, which is SWAPO, and asked the 8 to go back and apologize to what they have done, that they are working against their freedom. They're working with South Africa. Now, in the case of Biafra now, because let's assume that it's all now, because like previously, most countries does not have this massive resources then. Now, a lot of these resources are full everywhere in the whole of Africa. Okay, in Biafra land is the key. When is it that their interest that they have now, when somebody a country now says, okay, we recognize you, what is going to happen with this interest that these people have in the homeland, in the United States of Biafra? Now, we're not talking about individuals, but there's a lot of groups, like you rightly say, Imam Madhab is there, Unshakable, Govt 247 Unshakable is there, BRGIE is there, Genkere is there, all these ones, the autopilot for that or is there. So now, when we get this recognition, these groups now, we're not talking about them, go from your teaching. We know that these things exist now. Some countries, according to you, there are more than 10. Some even went ahead to redeclare again, which at the end, they say we didn't recognize it. The first people we recognize, which that was that bold step Dr. Recep Orabese took in Finland, being the first to redeclare this and have a document. So this interest of the Western world in the homeland, oil level, this and that, gas and this and that, how is United States of Biafra going to deal with this? Thank you.
It is very simple. I will now go to the history of Poland back to you.
Okay.
When Poland declared their country, they got recognition. They refused to go back to their land because of Soviet Union and their power and their interest in their territory.
Yes.
They waited until full recognition of the once America recognized them and the UN. And that took them 51 good years before they would go. So the interest of every outside country that are international country that have interest in Biafra land, it matters, does not matter. Why does it matter? It matters because they are the one giving Nigeria morale to be buying our people and be claiming possessing our territory illegally in this perfect sense.
Okay.
Now it does not matter when it's come to to legitimize Nigeria government, to remove the Nigeria government. Once we have officially grabbed all the necessary recognition we need, what it means that Nigeria and those who believe in Nigeria in our territory, all of them will pack out and go.
Okay.
And that is why our DPM said that she is available for negotiation.
Yes, yes.
Remember that because of Ojukwu refuses to give France oil, that is why France did not support Nigeria fully.
Yes.
But they went back, used African country to support them to ship equipment to Biafra land. And why they are giving us monetary aid because of what? Their interest in the oil that Ojukwu refused to give them.
Yes.
Remember also that when America asked for oil for 10 years, and Ojukwu said that he's not going to negotiate anything, agreement with anything oil at all.
I think it's Israel.
Now, Israel also, yes.
Yeah,
remember that
diplomatic relation with Nigeria during the time of Ike Nwachukwu, they got the come back. Yes.
Yes. So remember also that our leader Mazan Kanu said, you see, this oil that make all of you believe in one Nigeria, that Biafra will give it free to many countries.
Yeah, he said that.
Repeat the same thing. That is why we say that Biafra is going to be a brain-based country.
Yeah, yeah.
They are talking about oil. The more what passes oil have discovered in Biafra land. I'm not going to mention it on air.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah. So the recognition will come. The recognition is what will remove Nigeria. Remember this man from Australia, the NATO chairman or secretary, Kunta. He said, America, recognize Biafra, give them a weapon to go and defend their land. And it will come. So once all those things happen, those allies of Nigeria and all of them has been removed from our territory. That is why the government, you see, I want us to know one thing. If you know the weight of this legal document of the declaration, nobody, what USB put in the table, nobody will reject us anymore, because we have also proved to the world that we are the one to stop the ongoing news that happening in Nigeria. No other one will stop it. So our recognition will come. Nigeria will leave. That is why I mentioned to you, okay, look at it to today. There is country here, which I want to mention to you. Kabili was declared in 2025, December 14. Then Easter to Kano was declared 2004. They based in US. They never got recognition. Do they have oil? They don't have oil.
They don't.
Of Amazonia, October 1st, 2017. It's not matter about the oil. The oil will not stop recognition. But the thing is that the world want to monitor you, see how effective. Remember the word they use, effectiveness of governance. They want to see it clearly from you. Once they see this effective control from you and proving that you are ready as a country, they will recognize you. Recognition is what we chase away anybody who has interest with Nigeria government. That is where we are.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, like we rightly said, all these people gallivanting, all these our people in Europe, in Asia, everywhere, they are seeing this. When you talk of Biafra, they are looking as if, what are you talking about? When you tell them even the progress of that, what the USB government have done, they seem to question it. I hope they will be listening to this program, because this one now you are saying now, it's not you. This is what the world will need. What they say, this is what you should do to have a nation. But this is not you making it up. This is on public space. But I want to conclude by asking one question. This research now about this having a nation that we have gotten, why is it that the other groups, why are they not mindful of this research? Is it that they lack the ability to research, or the research does not mean anything to them, or they don't believe, or what is exactly, I don't know if it's a psychologist, begin to say, what is exactly in your mind? Is it that they are not informed of this kind of, because this is the 21st century development. which is those that are saying they are Dr. This. Let me give reference like Dr. Bryce Okoma, Dr. This Okoma, Professor this one, a lawyer this one. What is stopping them from doing this? Because this research, you did not make it up. It's in public space. So now, why is it that they cannot research? Why are they bent on what they are doing? What is the motive behind this, please?
Nga-akwu ihe a n'Igbo, ndị ọnwa nwere nga-ekwu n'Igbo.
Okay.
Ndị be anyị si na achawo mara na ikwu ike obarụ. Kedu ihe oyiwe reason?
Okay.
If they went into research and they find that law is against what they are doing and they're on the wrong side, they have took already. How do you want them to continue getting money they are getting from the Nigerian government and all the people that are supporting them? It's based on the money they are getting. It's why they cannot research. Because the truth is inside the document. The lies is on your mouth, and that is what you see.
Okay.
So where we are, even for themselves, you know that if you check our social media today, even those who believe in USB, what we masterminded is an internal war, debunking ourselves. Is it not true?
Yes.
Why can't we move to now to be focused on letting the world preach our people what it means to have government-in-exile, that issue a peaceful declaration? And some of us handband in Hana Kuzbaladi or on a platform or Neka Chimezi or IPOB in ground and their problem can they discuss 24 social media? Why? Because now man, that is only what he can do. So all these lawyers, all these people I mentioned after here, they knows the truth. But why are they not going to go into that? Because now the truth brings Hadaino. Yes. And instead of them to cry Hadaino, they will use ignorance. It becomes an excuse. Why did the white man says or law says that the ignorance is an excuse in the eyes of the law? So whatever they are doing is what they do to get those to feel relevant among those that are following them. That's why they are doing that. Nothing more than that.
Okay.
And when they find out that people that are following them are deviating, they will go and cook a white lawyer to people to feel that we are working. It's a strategy.
Yes.
If IPOB stop protests and transition into government-in-exile and issue their declaration, those that are getting money as a coordinator in different countries, are they going to still get the money? So for them to get the money, they refuse to do the necessary thing and the right thing at the same time.
Exactly.
That is how I see it my own way. So they know what they are doing. Not that they don't, they know it for that is the only way they feel relevant. Why is it that when Obato Obie, before he was arrested, one of his executive meetings, he told them that I have 4 people that we choose those that we work immediately Biafra they are declared. And those who already know that they are not relevant start forming their own group because they want to remain relevant in the eyes of those who are acting like them. And the word is Allah, but it's not a matter of about the level of education. It's not a matter about level of certificate you have. It is about to understand where the world is moving to. These people refuse to change. And in this 21st century or in this life, there is one thing that said is constant. What is that thing? That they say that change is what is constant in our life. Yes. It's only in Biafra movement because of they want to use the Biafra to make money. They refuse to change. Because when they change, the money will no longer come. The lies is there and the truth will prevail. That is why I only use this word. Truth come at last. And I know on the table.
Okay. Well, thank you so much because when we come here, we'll ask important questions. I have said this one time, people should take advantage of this program. I don't want tomorrow people begin to say, maybe that time when the time comes, you might be a minister in one big ministry. Person will be calling me to, how can I reach it, you know? It is how can I reach him? Because I hear you man divine. A lot with here. This is the time now for anybody to come up. Dr. Rabosa have opened her arms to everybody.
Yes.
Bring it to her table. I know your art. Seek the support. He must not share your name. When you has how anonymous, Abi. What anonymous? Go na hagi so go ni ha because they will get the record. Pharmacy there and any day or or they born a document when that will be missing.
Yes.
So and now people need to take advantage of this situation and come and support the United States or Biafran government. But a time will come. Support that time is approaching. It's approaching.
Very
So
fast approach.
yes, can
Very
we get this social medium medium? Can we get this social medium? We can send the number Republic of Ireland to people ndị na-ege gị ntị adịghị ama echi or ka ghara hapụ Hadaino like you rightly said. Onye chiri reach United States of Biafran government in Republic of Ireland. The number to reach is +353 899 666679. Again, +353 899 666679. If you call this number in Republic of Ireland, the government of United States of Biafra in Ireland will attend to you. They will answer your call. They will put you through, and you have to come and apply for your ID card. Come and apply for your ID card. Then, now is the time. The time will come. I got why at the end. I say, I'm just saying. But with this, every time that in Ecclesiastes, I think there's a time for everything. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to do this. That is seasons for everything. So
that is why I do play the history of America, those that never want America as a country, for them to not over 80,000 disappeared in America and they form another country somewhere because of their sabotage and because of not supporting and believing that America should be a country.
Yeah. And let me also tell you, all those people who did that in America, let me say why they are successful, you know. I think what I believe is because they are white. Because you're all from America, British America, America, this and that. You ran to Montenegro like you told us here.
Yes, now, they don't to Montenegro.
Now.
No, because those who was against Namibia as a country, Namibia shattered up to 20 trail and lottery, loaded them down to the history of South Africa as the is where you belong. Don't come back to our country again. That was the punishment.
You see, today you see what the same South Africa is doing to black race. Tanzania have expelled all South Africans in Tanzania. He said he gave them how many to everybody that is from South Africa to leave from South Africa to leave Tanzania. So my brother, I'm so glad. Each time I listen, whether I talk or I did not talk, I anime with a lot. I anime with full joy, you know, from what I've heard because now if you also go out there to evangelism for this USB, and with a level of acceptance, that is why I'm confused, you know. That's why I'm confused that this is real. In a country, you'll be standing in front of a minister of justice. Let's hang who badge you your pocket, the United States of when can you make conviction this is not a joke, because these people they know what you are saying. They know them. They know all these conditions to actualize a nation. They know all these things. But so for those who have chosen to do otherwise, we wish them all the best. But like this, your word is, had I known, if I had known, I would have listened if I had known. So, but we wish them all the best in their government, either in exile or BVC or PVC or CRC or
And
water.
I am making it openly. That is why under my start, that is why I asked the question that I want to know all the official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026. All of them in the.
And this is recent.
This is recent.
Yes.
You know that the 21st century I always talk about started from 2001 now. That is why I asked the question. And you had it here. The people that declare it then, they are there. 2004, people declare it. And where do they state it today? Those you are asking, talking about us. What of those that declared in 2004 till today? They still remain in America, in US, and their headquarters had the executive government in Washington D.C. What of those who are in the France that declares it? So the world is taking. That's why in my private analysis, I said in my analysis today that it's not about what I think, how I feel, because I am not the one that are putting these governments where they belong. And you can see any research that you made today about government in exile, USB is fronting with our Western time, because they say that USB is very effective with a structure of a government, proving that they are a country in waiting.
Yes.
How could you imagine that after declaring it in 2024 November, that in the out of the 75 as a government that we are number 4. Then that place that we are number 4, this Kabili that I want to exit, that want to exit from Algeria. Do you know that they are number 25? But look at USB. Then coming to Africa. Now, USB is number 1 in Africa on government in exile. And you are doubting what Govt is doing. For you to know that the world have already recognized Biafra. That is why they said that once you organize, that the first thing you will see that you adopted the government in exile as the legal and legitimate government of the people, that you will see your map in the world map.
Yeah, now the map we have is in the world map now.
So, and in Africa, it's already there.
Yeah, let Biafra map in the world map. Let there.
Which world map?
So, people think that what we are doing, we are just playing.
Yes.
And when it's going to that map, what you will see, the arrow is pointing to you, United States of Biafra. What else do you want?
No, there before,
And since all this while, Biafra is not there. What baffles me so much is that when I see the name United States of Biafra, not just Biafra Republic, that word, what we declared on November 29, 2024 in Helsinki, Finland, as one of the most effective exile government in the world right now, out of 75. In Africa, you have 9 exile governments in Africa. And that's 9. USB Redeclaration is number 1, followed by this Kabylia that want to from Algeria. I never knew that Africa has more exile governments, up to 9. I never knew. Until I begin to deep down to let me know what is going on. Is it only we that are government in Africa, that are government in exile in Africa? I found out we are 9 in numbers. And out of that 9, there is only effective 4. From that effective 4 that are very serious. USB is number 1. This Kabila is number 2 from Algeria. There is a country that is in exile, want to exit right now from South Africa again. They are made up of those Namibia that was better back to South Africa. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? This is how the world is moving. This is how things are transitioned. The only government in exile you have is USB Redeclaration, leading by Dr. Govt, no other one, whether I like it or not. There is no any other government in exile. We have our people in the UK. The only thing we do is to take my number, chat me if you want the link or you want somebody to register. I have the link. They're not allowed to post the link on comment. I don't know why. The YouTube has put some restriction to us. We can't put the link on YouTube. So if you want the link, if you don't have my number, then tell me. I will call the number is in the open, so you can chat me on WhatsApp. Then I will send the link to you. If there's anybody who you want to give the link, maybe in UK or anywhere, then you can do that.
Okay, Mazi, I thank you so much. I have one of the Thomases here, my sister.
Let him continue.
Ndị na-ekwe ekwe, but ọ makwa na ọ na-ekwekwe n'ihe otu kwuru. So, but I want to thank you.
Ya were phone ya or type na phone ya. What is the meaning of government in exile first? That is where he will start. That is where I started from my own side.
Exile.
What is the meaning of government in exile? Then after that one, he will now type, does government in exile exist? Then from there, he will understand where we are.
Oh,
Then she will understand where we are. And also, as of today's program, what I was discussing today was, I have a 2 question I asked under my research on my app. Number 1 question was, in the whole world, what is the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in the 21st century? That was my first question under my research, which it took me 2 days before this research come up, and I'm playing it today. Then the second one, he need to go and ask. And now ask within, and I ask under my research. I want to know all the government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are staying, and the names of their leaders that issue a peaceful declaration. Is in the open. Let him go to Google and type. You will find out. Let us welcome our brother Triple M, Mazi Olushunwago. Triple M, please unmute and have the mic. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Triple M.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, my brother Biafra TV.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work so far. We appreciate you for the good work. You know, each time I listen to your program, I will always take 1 or 2 things home. Though it's not for me, because I'm already convinced. I am a citizen of the United States of Biafra, having casted my vote on the first midnight of February 2024, and also joining Redeclaration, apply for my ID card. I have my ID card. I use it often. I'm a citizen, in case you don't know. I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. If they're looking for the citizen, here I am. I'm here in United Kingdom. I'm one of them. You know, like I said before, one time ago, I changed my location, my location where I'm staying to another place due to work. Then I tried to, change my address from my bank account. They are requesting for verification of ID that I will use. One day, after filling the forms, I scanned my USB ID card. They verified me. I opened my account back. So, they changed my address. So I don't know why people are still doubting 1 or 2 things about it. Thank you for the work. And outside that, my brother, Dadlo. I greet you, one mother. My people at the comment section, I greet each and every one of you. Gone are the days. Anebu flag. When they are singing this song, nothing to show about that the Biafra is coming. When the Biafra finally come, they rejected it. That is how criminality they are. They want to continue every year. So all these people, I don't have bam. Before I come tige ofu ajụjụ a. I already know the question. I already know the answer. Mana ọ ka ndị bulu batrị ha nwee ike na-aghọta na ife a na-eme na ụkwa anyị na-apị mkpụrụ dị ya n'ime. Ka m bigodu nke map anyị godu. Though before m aga na nke map ka maka ndị a na-agba ihe anyị mgba. Ịma some people nwere ndị na-ekwu okwu sị nke a na-ekwu Biafra na enwere so many people na enwere ike echi ha redeclare ha nwa na onwe ha enwere ike echi recognize ya USB ha ga-abịa na homeland bịa na-agbaki ndị a na-asị ọha men on ground si na ngozi ya lawanụ anyị niile na support ide USB anyị mecha anyị lawanụ na Biafra land. So my question is this: ọ bụrụ na recognize anyị now, what will be our condition between we and those people? Before I go on, thank you so much.
TPM is very simple. There is that is why the world will first look at you. Do you have a constitution? In Angola, when they declared their country, even they lost and re-declare it. What happened to us about what happened in Angola? What happened? The world, when the government finally went to the homeland and those men inside the bush want to try, the world will just give the UN notification that these people inside the bush is trying also. What can we do? They immediately, America automatically joined the movement and come and pack them away. Many of them today are in prison abroad, not even in Angola. So we don't have much case to answer about them. When we go to Biafra land, there is a constitution. The world did not recognize the men on ground. They recognize a government-in-exile that issue a peaceful declaration. And any military who refused to be under the government of his country is a betrayer, a saboteur, a rebel. Then that is when you will see the law of treason, inciting violence will be occurred. So for them, there is a law. The same law that will chase people away is the same that will chase them away. There's no two ways about that. Because the world believes that peaceful education is only option. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Ihe abụọ maka ndị na-adị confused, ndị buru batrị ha na-ekwugheri ghọta ebe anyị na-eje maka na egwu a.
Because of that, this your question might, if it is possible, become the program of tomorrow. Repeat that question again. Let me start typing to research and leave it till tomorrow to be open.
Okay. The question is when the world or any international community finally recognizes USB, what will be our condition with those that is on ground holding Pesoka, saying that we are not coming back, we can only be in exile?
Yes, just continue what we're saying. I'm typing it.
All right. Another thing is this, our map before now, during the time of our internal leader, who is Ojukwu. Ojukwu Biafra was a republic of Biafra, which but the letter failed. Now, another question now. Yes, another question about now. When to carry everybody along, when you see some of our people, they will tell you, they usually use this term, the autopilot. Autopilot are the people that that autopilot.
Yes, your network is cracking. It is very simple. What brought autopilot is that when they refused to work with Simon Ebanjok and want to kick him away, and he take over like Maz and can take over from Wazurike. That is how IPOB take over from Masov. The same way.
Jere, are we here? Autopilot, the architect of autopilot, but always look that now they rejected our leader, our PM. Remember, initially, our PM were like, calming those following him that we should not banter war with the DOS, that they are the highest authority. Let's watch them and see where they are taking us to. And our leader, Masnan Kalu, issue press statement that na hanya slot na Radio Biafra, onwike broadcast, which they finally gave our PM deadly and devil offer. Them or we all perish. So when they did that, our PM rejected home. Hey, with order. Somebody now they can say cancel sit at home, cancel sit at home. Our PM so okay. In that case, everyone under the DOS na so cancel sit at home. Na hang our highest order. Dayaga when amended by appeal. Can cancel sit at home. That period, how one wapalaya he should stop using IPOB. So our PM issue press statement on Saturday regards to Mbaneme fundraising. So now I cancel sit at home. Nande IPOB Nigeria. So on not IPOB Nigeria. Oh no man US issue press release that Namazna Nekalo say ya songwano no nyobela hapo sit at home ka aile tuko hanya. One that Monday, Ebola Yazika Americo, Ebola will lock and key. PM Sina, or can you have an autopilot? Yeah, we'll statement of PM. I don't can you have an autopilot. So these guys say, see that na PM or autopilot. Now you use IPOB, the name of IPOB. So my question on that regard, these people that usually say that they have been here for long, or I overheard when Benjamin Madbug, after court case of our leader, the one of the court case on non-euro now vibrate, say na Republic government in exile, Republic government in exile that now they don't need it, they don't need it. Now I mean agitation now. Ada was linked to date or 27 years, and then able to say it should be around that can maybe between 20 years or 22 years. We didn't be hang on any challenge on under IPOB with was Maso because Ilanya and then Shina Vajo Namazin the Kano she from Maso on the liver be her Maso. But all quite same people are how familiar on it or focus on kind of natural.
Who could the same people?
Yes. Now, our PM, how many need to name na ebu flag. Ana buy country, which when the ma abara country. Baufu ha, rota, maybe anything they put maka left, right, center. Even a ihe kọlọ kemere n'ihu ihe kọlọ bịa ha abịa na be gị ndị amị abịa na be gị ndị amị Naịjirịa abịa na be gị nweta that period ihe na-egbuge mba anaghị ekwu okwu upon their protest is submit document eme press release nobody is talking not until 29th of November 2024. Ka ebe na-ebute gbara give America na-ekwu Israel na-ekwu and we can go through our people. Ihe mere the paradigm to change here because many people feel that now even the criminal IPOB them how can they check now what their protest money America ji kwuo okwu many countries Israel. So our ajụjụ before I go into my last submission. Thank you.
Yes. If you follow today's program, they say that a re-declaration of a lost country is what moved the group from tagging them rebel, terrorists, insurgency, inciting violence. And without a peaceful declaration, everything you are doing on the street is just making noise. And you are asking for the Nigerian government to treat you in a right. That is why you are protesting. But through a peaceful declaration, you have given the world and through government in exile, you have given everybody chance to talk about you. That is what they call external remedial succession. If you protest, you are doing internal succession within the Nigerian government that they need to treat you right. So the world talking about Biafra right now is because of the legal document of USB we are declared, not by because of IPO that group. Now, when together we're discussing about the effective or the 21st century government in exile, do you hear about IPOB? When you check about the USB map, what do you see? United States of Biafra. As you see it there, that is how also it gives the world the power to talk about Biafra right now. Without this our declaration, no Biafra. No Biafra as a country. Anybody who talk about us today under the level of community, Israel, America, and all of them, and the entire world talking about Biafra today, is because of the USB document. If there is no legal document, the world is legal when it comes to having a new country. If there is no legal document, there is no country for you. And now we'll talk about you because they said you must transition from a state to a government in exile to a structure of a country in which into a courtroom, no longer on the street. Because when you declare, your document is legal and you transition into the world. And before you can sign a treaty, you must declare acting as a country, because it's only country sign treaty, group doesn't sign treaty. So what we are seeing today is because of what? The real declaration that has transitioned us into a country in waiting under external remedial succession, no other way out. And that is why you have only one government of USB, of Biafra, which is United States of Biafra, that we are declared through our DPM, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. That is how I want to do this in a very simple way.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. So, my genuine fellow Biafrans, I don't know what you are still waiting for. If you really want your freedom, because one thing I understood in this particular course now is many people join this particular cause because of selfish interests. They put what they will gain at first without even thinking of what they will, what they are fighting for. Because if you have in mind that you are here for your based on
the network is working somehow.
In control, it doesn't matter who is leading. All focus is who is holding the document. Let us not forget in hurry. Before our Redeclaration convention, our PM says, whatever thing we are doing without this Redeclaration, we are just making noise. Then they were Nigerian. The reason they were, initially they were as a kind of when IPOB JS Nigeria, is giving them the manpower, telling them that they are the people in charge, that nobody, Simon Ekpa is nobody. That was when they relaxed. Our PM went and reactivated government in exile, because it was our PM. You asked the question, November 2023.
Yes.
Officially, the international community, yes, the people backing Nigerian state to continue what they are doing, in order for them to be benefiting on what they are doing, they realized, started telling them, for you people to allow these people, that this guy is unity, you people thought that he is not doing anything, that he will end up dividing Nigeria if care is not taken, that you guys allow him to reactivate government in exile, which was what Ojukwu would have done when he ran to Ivory Coast. But they deceived him. Lack of information, he came back. And with the help of this Delilah of his, they convinced him to come into Nigerian politics, and they rubbished him, even in his local government.
Yes.
So it's so funny. When I hear some people today, they will tell you that the way we are doing it is not the way, that all we need to do, we have to, you know, come into politics and do this in politics, do that in politics. You get, you elect people, you vote people in, they will go there and speak on your behalf and vote. They go there. You ask them.
Ask them this question. I just ask them, when Poland lost their country in the hands of Soviet Union, how do they regain their country back? Because that's the just simple question to them. Ask them.
That's it.
So ask them, how was the government in exile? Those that was re-declared, you know, are we continuously playing those that re-declared their country? I will play this in my preamble every time, taking up to 20 minutes to play all these countries that re-declared. They never enter politics of their country, but they have government in exile. Poland was in exile for 50 years until they achieved recognition. They went back to their home. They never started entering anything politics. That is African mentality, and it's not gonna work.
That's it. And if you even talk that some European country, we have seen maybe it might work for them, but not in Africa that reason like animal. People that don't reason like a human being. Now, this same Nigeria in question, for one day have never looked into the matter of Biafra and speak about it or look for a way to resolve it. They will usually come with gun and bullet to decimate us. But the people that have nothing to offer, that claim to be terrorists, they now baptize them now by giving them their prodigal son. They negotiate with them often and then. You can never buy them. They say, bring them, rehabilitate them, integrate them into the society, give them what they want. Whereas the people that they sacked from their homes are in IDP camp. No food, no water, suffering. The people that chase them away are reintegrated. Shelter them, place them on salary, and people are still, you know, having faith. I see our people jumping up and down. Obi will do. This is, I don't know the kind of mentality our people have. Please, my fellow Biafrans, gone are the days we wallow in ignorance. We have known that other people, the people in Western world, knew in regards to freedom. Not everybody knows about freedom, and the freedom in freedom fighting, they don't give they don't win a World Cup. They don't have a legend. Let's say you want to be a hero, block the way, and you don't want to complete, and it must be you that will do it. It doesn't done that way. It's just like freedom movement is just like a relay race, where your power takes you to. Where your power takes you to. If you don't know the way again, the way our man did, he has reached to the extent, knowing fully well that all the people that surrounded him, nobody is bringing idea with the way to follow until our PM comes out. All hell get loose. Now, my people, you know, there's something I understood. You know, you have said it last time. You see all this information that makes most of our people, they feel that you are the one that, you know, bringing it out. You are the one that, you know, trying to formulate the stories. This deep in-depth analysis is not in the public domain for free. It will cost you something.
Remember that the question you ask right now has been, in fact, I think that it just come out openly without wasting time. I have got the answer. So that is the program tomorrow. The question you ask.
Now, yes, this is now. when you tell someone now that I overheard when you are telling someone, is it on the background of Mazi Chino, Mazi Oluchiwa God,
Yeah.
the person that was there, trying to argue on one or two things. If you give them the exact something you research now to research, Google will not give you this information because they don't lay hands. Google,
yeah,
they will not give you deep. Google will not give you deep. The way because based on ingredients ekute this information. That's why some people, when they search, Google will not give them anything because Google will only take you your data to give you what they lay their hand in. But in Ghana, you paid. After paying for data, you will also pay separately for this information to be available for you. I don't know if you get my point. Remember, before now, you solicited for the kind of laptop that will give you what you want. There are some laptop you get, they can't even give you this thing.
Yes.
So our people need to understand. If it is all these small ones that can lay their hand on, let them use it. Okay, just like our map now. It wasn't there. Previously, it was there as the Republic of Biafra. When we lose everything, they wiped it out. Even the bite of Biafra was changed to bite of Bono.
Today, it has
bite of Bono. As we speak now, when they brought back the flag, our map, it's no longer bearing the map of the Republic of Biafra. It's now United States of Biafra. You ask yourself, what was really declared on 29th of November 2024? IPOB. Okay, IPOB Nigeria is against USB. Ogenkere and Co are against USB. But the map we are proud to see on the world map today is United States of Biafra, and you are still asking what is Ngozi doing? Are you okay?
And that's what you ask what she's doing in Africa, or those that are government in exile issue a peaceful declaration. Out of the 4 they mentioned here, is her name coming, no other name. And that's what she's doing.
That is it. Even Genkere himself that is claiming BRGIE. Ghana Google type one for BRGIE now. BRGIE, different public government in exile. You have to tell the BRGIE. Ghana check the previous executive. Genkere is finance minister.
Yes, now.
Then which one that makes him prime minister? My brother, thank you so much for the work. Let me allow if there is anything you want to do. But Nakim as well, thank God for this time. Thank God for this time. I will always say that the new 21st century law favored USB or he favored Biafrans.
Because we have.
I am telling you. Chukwu na-eme ihe n'oge ya. Chukwu na-eme ihe. Even Chukwu ime gị ihe, o nwere ike si n'aka onye iro gị mere gị ihe ahụ na-achọ. That is that. Thank you so much, my brother. We must continue.
Thank you. We are summarizing. What I want to do is to play the two research of our headline today. My first question is, in the whole world, what is the latest official government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration in this 21st century? Listen, that is our program. Listen to this.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, USB. This movement represents a modern application of the legal principles of restoration and state continuity, moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession and toward a 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation. The latest official case, United States of Biafra, USB. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile culminated in late 2024 with a series of structured peaceful legal actions. The trigger event. On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Restoration of the Independent State of Biafra. The framework, the Redeclaration, established the United States of Biafra, USB, as the successor to the original 1967 Republic, emphasizing a decentralized structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. The peaceful method. Unlike previous eras, this 21st century Redeclaration was backed by a self-referendum, conducted throughout 2024, that reportedly gathered over 50 million affirmative votes, providing a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. Other 21st century restoration comparisons. While the USB is the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a previously lost state, other groups in the 21st century use similar government-in-exile models. 1. Kabyle Provisional Government, ANAVAD, formed in 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. They maintain a structured cabinet and have issued their own declarations, though they seek a new state rather than the restoration of a 20th century sovereign one. 2. National Unity Government, BRGIE, of Myanmar, formed in 2021 following a coup. While technically a, quote, government in exile, their goal is the restoration of the existing state's democracy rather than the redeclaration of a lost or suppressed country. The legal backup for the USB model. The United States of Biafra explicitly utilizes the legal frameworks we discussed to bypass the rebel label and seek sovereign status, invoking the Montevideo Convention. By establishing a capital, Ebube, a constitution and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and prime minister, they are checking the boxes of organized political authority, administrative presence. By engaging in FARA-registered lobbying in the United States and holding conventions in the EU, the government in exile is utilizing the 21st century diplomatic channel to prove they are a responsible international actor. The doctrine of non-recognition. The Redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the Stimson doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that the original sovereignty of the people was never legally extinguished. This approach makes the November 29, 2024 Declaration a unique case study in modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal filings and administrative restoration to regain independence in an era that otherwise strongly protects existing borders.
Now, Section 2, we have explained it today as we have summarized. I want you to hear it. Then my question is, I want to know all government in exile. I want to know all the government in exile that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026, and in which country they are reside, and the names of their leaders that issue this peaceful declaration. Listen.
In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders: Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis: based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes, invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government, seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France. Declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader: Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis: a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders: Ghulam Yagma has served as president. Saleh Hudayar Has served as Prime Minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis: claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration. October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries. Various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders. Sisiku Ayuktabe. First President currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, Acting President of the Interim Government. Legal basis: invokes the failure of the 1961 Federal Agreement and uses the BRGIE Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status: Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024. Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orabweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025. France. Ferhat Maheni. Federal Republic. Exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004. USA. Salihudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1, 2017. USA. Various. Dr. Samuel Sako. Interim Govt, exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orabweze and Ferhat Maheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
That is what we have for you for today. You have had it. Out of these 4 exile governments, 1 is from China. The other 3 is from Africa. Ambazonia. Kabylie. This country who the government in exile have issued their declaration 2025. They are opting out from Algeria in Africa. You had the name of their leader, the government in exile, and their intention, and the only one they have, the same way you heard about USB we are declared, through our leader, through our Deputy Prime Minister Ngozi Orabweze, as the only acting Deputy Prime Minister that issue a peaceful declaration of our country called United States of Biafra. There is no other country we have except USB we are declared. So I want you to know, for those that are deceiving you, ask yourself, go and do the finding by yourself, go and research the names of the exile government that is official in the eyes of the international global community, not in your own eyes, not the way you reason, not the way you see things. The way they are seeing things is quite different from you. I want to understand that in all this research and all of them, that you can do it by yourself. But you know that good soup na money maker. I want you to know that despite United States of Biafra we are declared, there is no other government in exile we have. Everything you see is individual making noise and making mockery of themselves. Those that are ranting and shouting, they are individual. The world don't organize them. Registering yourself, I have also given you an explanation here that Ogenkere is just building a political career in America. But he only used the name of Biafra like he can go to them. Today, Pastor Maxwell has used the name of Biafra to count what he's doing. So let us reason for once. The truth is bitter. You have gone a wrong way. You have said the wrong things. But you can come back. And also know that USB ID card is making headway everywhere in the world. Today, in the world of Africa, you have map of United States of Biafra, not Republic of Biafra. What you have there is United States of Biafra. The way you have United States of America in the map is the same way we have right now United States of Biafra in the map. And that's what is it doing. Now, just make it officially that the only government in exile you have is the one that we are declared on November 29, 2024. I see you going to come for. Thank you so much. You're welcome. That's why we are closing. Thank you. Your comments. I am a citizen of the United States of Biafra. That is who we are. Hashtag Nigeria must go out of the United States of Biafra because United States of Biafra is a nation. Thank you so much. That is a complete answer to the existing protocol of this platform. I said, I don't need your greeting. I don't need your accolade. What I need is for you to write all these things, and our DPM make it mandatory that we must continue doing hashtag Nigeria must live in our land. So through our ID card and everything we are doing, because of my time and we are going to narrow the program down this evening. So I want you to know that you have only one government, which is United States of Biafra. Is the only country you have in this 21st century. There is no other country we have, only one. So I thank you for being here. I greet everyone in the comment section. Ekene is my brother, you are welcome. Gabriel, you are welcome. Peter, oh, you are welcome. Linus, you are welcome. James Chigozie, you are welcome. All of you, I greet you. But because of Ndubisi Mainonsek, I greet you also. Because of those that just join us now, I am only going to play the audio on the research back. Tomorrow, our program is what our brother 3PM asked me. As he's asking me that question, I was researching it. So that is the program we're going to handle tomorrow. So if you may join us the same time tomorrow, as we time permit us to go, so you will see all these things. So our program today is what you see on the screen. My question is, that's why I'm putting my question under my research out is for you to go and do your own. I ask in a simple word that you will understand it, to every layman understanding. I want to know all the official government in exile that issue peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026 with declaration documents and the names of their leaders and in which country they are staying. Listen to this. The only other government you have that issue a peaceful declaration from 2001 to 2026 is what I'm giving out to you right now. So listen to this. Listen. Finally, listen to this. And one of the most latest one is two. I will play two of them without saying a word so you can see very well. Chibike Peter, thank you so much.
In the 21st century, the most prominent and recent example of a government in exile issuing a peaceful redeclaration of a lost country is the United States of Biafra, USB. This movement represents a modern application of the legal principles of restoration and state continuity, moving away from the 1967 model of unilateral secession and toward a 2024 model of peaceful administrative reclamation. The latest official case, United States of Biafra, USB. The transition from a movement to a formal government in exile culminated in late 2024 with a series of structured peaceful legal actions. The trigger event. On November 29, 2024, during a convention in Lahti, Finland, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, officially issued the Declaration of the Restoration of the Independent State of Biafra. The framework, the Redeclaration, established the United States of Biafra, USB, as the successor to the original 1967 Republic, emphasizing a decentralized structure of 40 states to ensure inclusive governance. The peaceful method. Unlike previous eras, this 21st century redeclaration was backed by a self-referendum, conducted throughout 2024, that reportedly gathered over 50 million affirmative votes, providing a mandate of the people, which is a core requirement for international recognition. Other 21st century restoration comparisons. While the USB is the most recent to issue a formal restoration declaration of a previously lost state, other groups in the 21st century use similar government in exile models. 1. Kabylie Provisional Government, ANAVAD, formed in 2010 in France, seeking the independence of Kabylia from Algeria. They maintain a structured cabinet and have issued their own declarations, though they seek a new state rather than the restoration of a 20th century sovereign one. 2. National Unity Government, NUG, of Myanmar, formed in 2021 following a coup. While technically a, quote, government in exile, their goal is the restoration of the existing state's democracy rather than the redeclaration of a lost or suppressed country. The legal backup for the USB model. The United States of Biafra explicitly utilizes the legal frameworks we discussed to bypass the rebel label and seek sovereign status, invoking the Montevideo Convention. By establishing a capital, Ebube, a constitution, and a leadership hierarchy, including a chief of staff and prime minister, they are checking the boxes of organized political authority, administrative presence. By engaging in FARA-registered lobbying in the United States and holding conventions in the EU, the government in exile is utilizing the 21st century diplomatic channel to prove they are a responsible international actor. The doctrine of non-recognition. The Redeclaration is a legal tool designed to invoke the Stimson doctrine, claiming that the 1970 surrender was a result of illegal force and that the original sovereignty of the people was never legally extinguished. This approach makes the November 29, 2024 Declaration a unique case study in modern international law, a peaceful attempt to use legal filings and administrative restoration to regain independence in an era that otherwise strongly protects existing borders. In the 21st century, several governments in exile have emerged or evolved by issuing peaceful declarations and administrative filings to reclaim lost or suppressed sovereignty. These groups rely on the legal concepts of state continuity and restoration rather than violent insurrection. Below are the most prominent governments in exile from 2001 to 2026 that have issued peaceful redeclarations, their primary locations, and their leadership. 1. United States of Biafra, USB. The USB represents the most recent case of a peaceful restoration declaration in the 21st century. It shifted from the government in exile, BRGIE model, to a restored state framework in late 2024. Redeclaration date, November 29, 2024. Host country Finland, specifically the convention in Lahti. Primary leaders: Dr. Ngozi Orebweze, Chief of Staff and Deputy Prime Minister, and the sole leader responsible for official diplomatic documentation. Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister. Legal basis: based on a 2024 self-referendum with over 50 million recorded votes, invoking the Montevideo Convention and the Stimson Doctrine. 2. Federal Republic of Kabylia. The Movement for the Self-Determination of Kabylia, MAK, transitioned its administrative body into a full provisional government, seeking independence from Algeria. Redeclaration date, December 14, 2025. Host country, France. Declared at the Salons Hoche in Paris. Primary leader: Ferhat Meheni, President of the Federal Republic of Kabylia. Legal basis: a peaceful path declaration emphasizing democratic and secular values, positioning Kabylia as a federal republic in exile. 3. East Turkestan Government in Exile, ETGE. While seeking independence from China for the region often called Xinjiang, this body was formally established in the 21st century to represent the people of East Turkestan democratically. Establishment/declaration date, September 14, 2004. Host country, United States, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Primary leaders: Ghulam Yagma has served as president. Saleh Hudayar has served as prime minister and is a prominent diplomatic voice. Legal basis: claims the illegal overthrow of the 1949 East Turkestan Republic and seeks restoration through international legal complaints, such as to the International Criminal Court. 4. Republic of Ambazonia. Representing the Anglophone regions of former British Southern Cameroons, this movement established a government in exile to restore the sovereignty lost during the 1961 unification. Declaration of Restoration, October 1, 2017. Symbolic restoration of independence. Host countries: various. Leaders operate from the United States, United Kingdom, and Nigeria. Primary leaders: Sisiku Ayuktabe. First president currently detained. Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, acting president of the interim government. Legal basis: invokes the failure of the 1961 federal agreement and uses the Buea Declaration as a legal foundation for restoration. Comparison of modern restorations, 2001 to 2026. State claimed. Declaration date. Host location. Key leaders. Status: Biafra, USB. November 29, 2024. Finland. Dr. Ngozi Orebweze. Restored state, exile. Kabylia. December 14, 2025. France. Ferhat Meheni. Federal Republic. exile. East Turkestan. September 14, 2004. USA. Salihudayar. Govt in exile. Ambazonia. October 1st, 2017. USA, various. Dr. Samuel Sacco. Interim Govt, exile. Why these leaders choose peaceful redeclaration. In the 21st century, these leaders, like Dr. Orabueze and Ferhat Maheni, focus on peaceful declarations because international bodies like the UN and the EU are more likely to grant audience to groups that avoid armed conflict. By filing administrative documents and using registered lobbyists, they attempt to move their cause from a local riot to an international legal dispute.
Thank you. Happy you met. Well, mommy, you are late. And our brother Onye Kashi, you're welcome. Thank you so much. We are going to spend 3 hours and we're going to end it here today. So you may go back and listen to the program if you wish to do so. The only thing I ask you, anytime you watch, please hit the like button. Like and share the program. That is how the message goes to others. If you are not sharing, it's not moving anywhere. I have given you 4 exile governments that issue a peaceful declaration. 3 is from Africa, 1 is from China. And the USB we are declared is on the point. So I want you to know that do you hear the name of Ogen Kere in the declaration document? He's not there. He's not the government in exile we have. The world knows the truth. There is a brother who asked me to give my number out. The number to reach me on WhatsApp is +9733605137. Again, +97333605137. Only on WhatsApp. For the last time, +97333605137. You also want to join on the WhatsApp group where I will post all this research that I normally do. The same number is when you say hi, they add me on the WhatsApp group, then the admin or I myself will add you. So you will also be copying all this message and send it to different group. That place I send it short where people can read, because when you send a long song, people don't read it. That is our problem. So I urge you and I thank you all that are here today. Until we come back again tomorrow. Thank you so much. From here and from me is have a wonderful morning. Thank you. Wonderful Monday evening. Thank you so much. Bye for now.